shown you what I'm feeling when I hold you? It feels like heaven, heaven surrounds me. Every time you wrap your arms around me, and there's nothing I can say you'll ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. When you're with me, when you kiss me, when you tell me how much you miss me, every moment we're together brings us closer, closer to forever. And there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. Well, yeah. Woman like you. Who would I be without a woman like you? Oh, a woman like you. Have I told you? Have I shown you what I'm feeling when I hold you? It feels like heaven, heaven surrounds me. Every time you wrap your arms around me, and there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. No, there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. Yeah, yeah. A woman like you. Oh, I don't deserve it, but I'm thankful. Oh, a woman like you. A woman like you. Woman like you. Wrap my arms around me, and there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. No, there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. Yeah, yeah. A woman like you. Oh, I don't deserve it, but I'm thankful. Oh, a woman like you. A woman like you. Woman like you. Wrap my arms around you. Oh, woman like you. Don't deserve it. Oh, I'm thankful for a woman like you.
Studios located in the capital city of St. John's, Antigua in the Caribbean Sea.
Okay, stop that.
And our transmitter located at the highest point, Buggy Peak in the parish of St. Mary. This is ZDK Liberty Radio International, 97.1 FM, the People's Radio Station.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble!
I said a long time ago, one of our objectives is to smoke them out and get them running and bring them to justice. We're smoking them out, they're running, and now we're going to bring them to justice.
I'm like so, every night.
Ready? Let's get ready to rumble!
I said a long time ago one of our objectives is to smoke them out and get them running and bring them to justice. I said a long time ago one of our objectives is to smoke them out and get them running and bring them to justice. One of our objectives is to smoke them out and get them running and bring them to justice. We're smoking them out. They're running. And now we're going to bring them to justice.
Steve, I'm like so, every night between Snake Pit, my boy, I am just playing with the fiddle, and it's somehow not going on the Snake Pit is coming on real, so.
I am the king of the world. Hold it. I'm pretty. Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man.
Oh, God bless no man good. He shall never hunger or thirst. Oh, God bless no man shall never thirst. He shall.
Hey, Julaki, want to hear him again?
I mean, King, you sound good.
I said a long time ago one of our objectives is to smoke them out and get them running and bring them to justice. We're smoking them out. They're running. And now we're going to bring them to justice.
Steve, I'm like so, every night between Snake Pit, my boy, I am just playing with the fiddle, and it's somehow not going on the Snake Pit is coming on real, so.
I am the king of the world. Hold it. I'm pretty. Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man.
Oh, God bless no man good. He shall never hunger or thirst. Oh, God bless no man shall never thirst. He shall thirst. He shall thirst.
I've seen some valleys, I've walked through some darkness, waded through rivers of grief. Oh, the enemy told me that I was for no one was fighting.
Hey, yes, good night, Antigua Barbuda.
But I
Let me say good night to our Caribbean neighbors who are locked in tonight.
know, though often
Hey, me have a cuss boy.
it is all gone.
Hey, locked in the 97.1 ZDK Radio.
Savior, keep
Hey, look, tonight when we come here, when we come, the energy not be good.
promise.
But right now, the energy pick up.
It's my song.
Same prayer.
Same prayer? You know why, big boy? Hey, let me say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis. Hey, good night to Angola. Hey, Montserrat.
You can stand.
Hey, good night, Dominica. St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
No weapon
Hey, good night to Barbados, Grenada.
spurred
Hey, good night to Guyana.
when God's on.
Going as far down south as Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, good night to you.
Bless me.
Hey, good night to those who are joining us via the World Wide Web. Hey, you might be logged on to www.radiozdk.com, or you might be logged on to Facebook Live at ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1. And my understanding is that we're streaming now, so you might be on one of the stream engines. Hey, welcome aboard to the Saturday Night edition of the real talk. Like my drink and mouth full of coke, boy.
You think
You want to do the coke with drink like a wild boy? Too much sugar. Aye.
people tell you
Hey, the scripture that covered tonight's program is taken from the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 43. No, not Isaiah. Sorry about that. It's coming from the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 1. Hey, verses 8 and 9.
remember what he's on.
Hey, my dad used to say this to me all the time. He says, my son,
He's now.
hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. Hey, also true. I feel the devil come over me. I want to say some things I don't want to say now. Well, go back to the scripture, Dave. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother,
When God
for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains around thy neck.
just me and
Let me say a special good night to Miss Patricia Gums over there in the hospice. How you doing, Miss Gums? Hey, to my little sister and her family. That's Nicole and her family over there in the Mount Pleasant area.
my God.
Hey, my other sisters. Hey, Bridget and Nola. I hope and trust that all is going good.
Every time.
Let me say good night also to my brother, the man Kali, aka DJ Governor Slim. I hope and trust all is going good, my friend. To my many nieces. Hey, Joan Lewis over there in the Casada Gardens area. Hey, Denise, her sister over there in the States. And Bernadette. I think over there Casada Gardens now too. Hey, big up yourself, Bernadette. Hope and trust that all is going good. Hey, let me say good night to my many nephews. Let me say good night to Zian. Hope and trust that all is going good, Zian. Also, hey, to Austin. And to my many, many cousins. Hey, cousin Annette over there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Also, cousin Halima Thomas over there in Orlando, Florida. Hey, to my second mom. Hey, Sister Jean Golston. Hey, love you, Sister Jean. Hey, what's up, Jomo? Hey, be sure to kiss mommy for me, please. God's on my side. Also, right back here in Antigua. Hey, let me say good night to my second mom, Loretta Hunt. Hey, Loretta, what's up? And as I tell you, Loretta, you can hear all kind of subbing. Not take on nothing, just go to God in prayer. And God will take care of it. Now, me can tell you that because I've been through it. Just leave it to God, man. Just leave it to God. Sometimes I want to do things ourselves, you know what I mean? But God run things, man. Okay, Loretta, love you, love you.
Holding me up, His promise.
Let me say goodnight also. Hey, to my other second mom. Hey, that's Cassie. How you doing, Cassie? Hey, hope and trust that all is going good with you. Hey, to my stepmother. Hey, that's Mrs. Christopher Lewis over there in Berlin's East Potters area. You know when you're a stepmother, what that mean, right? You're a stepmother? I have two second mother, one stepmother. You know a stepmother be? But not that, but me ask you know a stepmother be. Baby. Baby? Stepmother when the daddy died somebody. So you are stepmother, is it? Okay. You like your stepmother?
No.
Okay, good to go. Hey, good morning, my stepmother. What's up, my mommy? Hey, love you, love you, love you. That's Miss Christopher Lewis over there in the Berlin's area. A good woman. Very, very, very good woman. Very good woman, my dear. When did she get... Send me a WhatsApp now. And, you know, lastly, let me say good night to the one, the great Bamsi. Down there in the Cooksey area. That's Mrs. Winifred Christopher. And her family. Hey, brods. I hope and trust that all is going good. Hey, big up yourself, man. Everybody down there in the Cooksey area. Hey, keep good, keep good, keep good. You know, and the song, the gospel song I'm going to go in tonight. As you say, Mother's Day is around the corner. I forgot, man. Me one of the few that come and are prepared now. Me just come and open the line and... who me tell me, boy? Who tell me? Oh, Drift would tell me. Drift would tell me some of them receptionists. And just come and open the line and take calls. We actually plan our show. We the company where let's be plan a show. Really I do that. Unless me just come play music, you know what I mean? So I mean, look at them, man. Me have capacity. Not capacity. Capacity. If it's just me have brains. Me need drop out of school. Me graduate. Then can't select me. Can't drop out of school. Then dunce. God is with me. And try to fool people about them bright. We come in ZDK and ZDK have a presentation. I'm against certificate of attendance. And then I'm a bright. That is a diploma. So then chop it. Who can stand again? Telling the chop me now. No weapon shall prosper. You can imagine me, you, and the black yeah work. God's on my side. Hold on then, let me get back here. Come back here. Me, you, and the black yeah work. To trust me, the president. You're the vice president. The black yeah member. When I renew the contract, I'll make Jablaki the vice president. And I'll put you down there. And you say you believe in succession planning. Wait, stop laughing, I'm serious now. Succession planning. That's what it is. Them believe in the succession planning. And then they have people that beg for them and say, oh, Jack back here get demoted. So why you really be? Tell on the chop it. boy. The Blackie me tell you how the song go to radio now. Sometimes energy hit you when you reach it. And the energy hit me just now. But anyway, be that as it is.
I can't be defeated.
You know, girl come to me and say, where half of them? I tell them, boy, then they must have jealous me in the world, boy. Can you imagine me fat, sexy? Pull to the woman love me, then they can't say that no. People that love them, not worth a thing. Let me say that. And I can prove it.
You can stand.
And the women that me have they have class. I never put you on their clothes on the field. No cricket field. Tell them to chop me now. Kill them. Kill everyone. Well, I'm go find me.
Jesus.
Go find me.
I can't be.
You done fired already, you done unemployed. They can't fire me too then. Where's it? Man, I hear talk hard, man. What you have? What you have? Oh, 25. What you have? 50? Yeah, more than be my pocket.
I got the victory.
Hey, you're listening to 97.1. Hey, ZDK. You know, this upcoming song, you know, on a serious note now. You know, years ago, boy, I went to church in Buckley's. It was at Buckley's. Maybe about 10, 11, that kind of age there. And this was the closing hymn as we left. And when I got home the day, I was humming it, you know. They were on the honest one. Old lady tell me, you know, when we die, I want to sing the song. Yeah, boy, me try to forget the song even then. We can remember about 10 that kind of age, you know what I mean? And it just never came up my thoughts. So when she died, I had to do it, you know. But we do much better at her funeral than at my dad's funeral. My dad's funeral, me just started crying. We couldn't control myself. I don't know. But it's me reverse. Me cried at my dad's funeral and Colleen ain't cry. And then the old lady funeral, Colleen started to cry. I mean, cry. So I walk over here and tell the cake, you probably should have this time. You probably should have last time. You know what I mean? But it's a song that, you know, I've you know, gotten accustomed to it now, listening to it without tearing up. And I decided I'd go with this gospel song, starting as we're celebrating Mother's Day, which I'm sure we're going to get into and have some discussions about that a little later. You're listening to 97.1 ZDK. Stay tuned. We will be right back. Hey, you see what I can move, Major Blackie?
Yes, King.
From Foundation, the Almighty put them in them.
Good song, man.
What do I do, man? For me so happy and at peace.
Okay.
And they just tormented.
From a little cottage in number 3 Casarda Gardens hails Rags to Rugs. 100% handmade Antiguan interwoven rag rugs by J. Lissa Lewis. We have various sizes of floor rugs, decorative wall hanging rugs, and table mats, uniquely and sustainably handmade. To purchase, send us a message via WhatsApp at 268-770-8088 for directions to our physical location, or we can deliver to you anywhere on Antigua absolutely free. Like and follow us on Facebook at Rags to Rugs Antiguan Made, on Instagram Rags to Rugs, or you can email us at ragstorugs@gmail.com. Don't forget, our rag rugs and table mats are machine washable and dryable. See you soon.
Elaine and Dad's Joseph Consultancy. We consult on labor relation matters, insurance, business matters, and politics. P.O. Box 2287, Francis Lane, Yorks Village, St. John's, Antigua Barbuda. Our email address, it's elaineanddadsjoseph@gmail.com. Telephone numbers 776-0200 or 464-4201. Contact us. We are here for you.
Mama, where would I be, Lord? Where would I be? Where would I be without my mama? Mommy, me love you, there's nothing I'd put above you. No house, nor no girl, nor no car. Stand firm in all my life, nothing about you. From a barn, me and you are par. Mommy, I'm a princess. Mommy, I'm a dance first lady.
Yes, welcome back to Real Talk. Hey, right here on ZDK Liberty Radio.
From your love, your mama.
Hey, 97.1 FM. Hey, the time in studio. 24 minutes after the 8 p.m. hour.
The one you for your mama, proud of your mama, sing loud for your mama. Yeah, I make sure know you're happy. She bring you come.
Hey, just about to get going.
Tell me, sing this.
Hey, happy Heavenly Mother's Day to grandmother.
I like this.
Dame Elaine Joseph and my aunt, Miss Carolee Joseph. Hey, sleep well, forget us.
Mama.
And forget us who leave back only memories. Oh, that's my niece there, Denise. Hey, big up yourself, Denise.
I don't know how we survive. She said, no worry.
Hey, to our listeners, how was your day today? Hope and trust that your weekend is going good. Hey, I'm feeling good. Hey, for those who are not feeling all that good, please, hey, say a prayer. Say a prayer and mean it. Prayer works all the time. Hey, let me say good night to my good buddy. Hey, the man Place, Stonewall Jackson. Hey, down there in the Green Bay area. Hey, good night to you, my friend. All the sisters in the house. Hey, bless up. Hey, let me say good night to Nalda Jarvis over in the Nut Grove area. And her brother, Mr. Jarvis. Hey, hope and trust that y'all are doing good. Hey, big up yourself, Nalda.
Yes, I'm my mama. Anything you want, you will get. It's a me promise. So anything you want.
Yes, she's studio with me tonight. Hey, it's my brethren. Hey, the man Jablaki. What's up, Jablaki?
Give thanks, big brother. Everything I man.
Everything good?
Yeah, man.
Bless up.
Let me join with you.
Go to.
Yeah, let me join with you and say Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. Starting out with my lovely wife, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
She bring you come here, from you and tell me sing this one. From the love of mama like this man.
Hey, let me also say happy birthday. Hey, to those who might be celebrating today. Those who would have celebrated in the not too distant past. And those who will be celebrating in the not too distant future. Hey, happy birthday, one and all. Belated and advance also. Also, as we said earlier, let me start off again. And let me just say advance Heavenly Mother's Day greetings. Hey, that's going out to my mommy, Miss Elaine Joseph. She's not here on earth with me now. Hey, but she lives through me. That is for sure. Also, hey, advance Mother's Day greetings to all the mothers out there. All the mothers out there, hope and trust that you have a good day when it comes around tomorrow. And these greetings are not just limited to biological mothers, you know. Hey, but to all those females who have mothered young ones. They strive to bring them up in the best way they know how. Hey, happy Mother's Day to you also. And there's some fathers out there also
Light up for your
who have to be father and mother. Just like how they have somebody who have to be mother and father.
your mama, sing low for your mama. Yeah, I make sure know you.
Yeah, enjoy the day, enjoy the symbolic day
From your heart, tell me.
when it comes around tomorrow.
From your love, your mama like this man. There's no one like my mama, no. Hey yo, after my mama this year, after my mama this year, we get the first time last year, all of this. After my mama this year, after my mama this, anything you want, you will get this, I promise. So anything you want, anything at all, anything you need, mama, no pray for God. And this year is a sunfall. Bust a blank for your mama, light up for your mama. Selector, you better pull up the one you for your mama.
Hey, but the boss on the line.
Yeah, my dad,
I make sure.
Hey, Charles Tabor, please make sure you deal with the burning issues affecting the country. Wonder what you talk about? What will you talk about?
Burning issues.
Like what?
Teddy Carly.
Hey, long them gonna talk to my partner. What's up, Tabor? That's Mr. Charles Tabor, attorney at law. His practice there is over between what? Stapleton Lane, I think they call it.
Yes.
Stapleton Lane. Good man, a good man.
Yeah, man.
I would endorse him, a good man. Yeah. So if you have anybody out there having a little issue, check out my good buddy Charles Tabor. Tell the beef send you, and you get a discount. Price on low already, but you get next discount on top of that. You want to be like Gaston, see? Hey, so what's up, Joe Blackie? You know how we normally start out. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to or to read the cabinet, the post-cabinet notes.
Yeah.
I didn't. When I tuned in, Max Hurst was dealing with it. I don't think Melford was there, so I don't know where the song going. Me just tune out.
Well, I follow the policies of Real Talk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're not tune out too.
Blessed.
All right. So then there's not much, and I didn't hear. Well, maybe as we go down, maybe some of the topics that we might deal with. Maybe they might have touched it. I really can't say, to be honest with you. Because when I checked that it was Max alone, I said no, we can't deal. So I really didn't listen, so I don't know.
Yeah, I never listened as well.
I'm not too sure. I think I looked at it in the newspaper, but it was published on Antigua Newsroom web portal.
Yeah.
But maybe there's nothing in it that really
Of
jumped at
interest.
me, because I don't remember nothing, to be honest. Earlier today, something had happened that drew my mind. What was it? Some kind of position was taken by the cabinet, and I heard the Prime Minister saying this afternoon that it was a decision of the cabinet. But whatever it was, it wasn't. I didn't read it in the notes, so I smiled with it myself. As I've been saying, it's only some things, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
That is fast becoming another thing, if you ask me personally.
Extinct.
You know what I mean. But we will have to see how that goes. Somebody tell me that when I normally give out the numbers, so let me just tell you. The number is 462-1100. If you might want to call to make a contribution to whatever you hear us discussing, feel free to give us a call. Well, the idea, not the idea, the battle that we've been having in recent times of youth violence. We would have seen the pictures Labor Day, on Labor Day, and generally we know that there is an issue. We have an issue with our youths. I hear a lot of people saying a lot of things, and I don't necessarily agree with most of what I hear them saying, But before we go to that, let's hear. I think this might have been on ABS News. Let's hear a little bit about it after. I think they had a symposium. So let's hear a little bit.
Anyone found with knives, machetes, cleavers, scissors, or any other offensive weapons without being able to provide a reasonable explanation to the police will be arrested and charged. This has been announced by the Police High Command or among a slew of measures to crack down on pervasive youth violence. Police sources say they will be increasing their presence and patrols at all major sporting events and other functions, and will be intensifying stop and search and spot checks nationwide. Law enforcers issued a release on Tuesday indicating they are concerned about the growing trend of violent crimes being perpetrated by young people.
All right, so that day was, I think that was on ABS News, coming off of, I think they held a consultation, the Ministry of Education, I believe.
When that was?
That would have been around the 9th of May or thereabout.
And they
Well,
came
this
up-
this actual clip came from the news on the 9th of May.
Okay.
So maybe it was the same day or the day before or so. And they, well, those are some of the things that they said they...
that came out of it?
Yes.
Blessed.
That they're going, the police will now be doing more searches, stop and search, and you know, them kind of general stuff, which is a good thing.
Well, sadly,
in my opinion,
I was about to say it's a good thing, but sadly, you know, to see our youngsters going down the road that they're presently going down, and there are so many examples that would have occurred in the past, and it seems as if it's not a deterrent for them at all. You know, I don't know, Beef. Go ahead.
personally, I agree with you. Firstly, we have been seeing that for some time, but to me, generally speaking, if there's not consequences for things, it doesn't get done.
Of course.
Right? If you don't work, you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Even though some people get paid on the work. Some of them get 4 paychecks and so on the work. You know what I mean? But generally speaking, if you don't work, you're gonna get paid. And the more professional you be, you get to respect time. You have to come here for 8 o'clock. You try to get here for 7:30, so you could start with yourself. Along the way, when it came to when it comes to our children,
yeah,
I think that was taken out of the equation. I remember during the UPP time, we had a similar spike in violence and so, and the UPP's answer, or part of the answer, was to begin to make bail more difficult at the magistracy level going up, and the Labour Party at the time in opposition cried, "You're criminalizing our children, etc., etc."
Yeah.
When the Labour Party came to power now, I'm not sure if they might have rewritten the entire law, but that's when we know we come with this juvenile thing. And from what I've heard the experts saying, one of the drawbacks with that piece of legislation that was written is that it spoke to the building of a facility, and those are just the words I'm using.
Yes.
To house these
Troubled
youths between the time when they would be taken off the street, barring going to before the court.
If the
etc.
procedure is if it is
right.
Yes. Really
that never happened. I don't think it has happened up to now.
Mm-hmm.
So that now had a the effect of maybe the youth in them saying, well, look, if we get anything done, can happen to me.
Could be.
Right?
Could be.
And whether directly or indirectly, that's the end result. The end result is that a child getting anything, police hold them little no time in the back on the street again.
Yes.
And as human beings, if you know that there's no consequences and other things go along with that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's my belief. That's one of the big things I think. In listening to the news or maybe reading something, I either read or heard that some teenagers, some youths were moved back from prison to back up to the Panam base. Apparently, they were being held at the Panam base and they tried to, or they escaped via some sort of a roof or something. So they were correcting that situation. So during that time, yeah, I read that recently.
Wow.
During that time, they held them at Her Majesty's prison.
Yeah.
So when I heard it myself, I said to myself, okay, well, maybe now they're using portions of the Panam base to house these juveniles.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard nothing, no big discussion about it or what. So I don't know if to satisfy that section of the law that the government is using that area. I don't know. But I know I did read, and somebody could call us and correct me or give us some additional information if I have that information. But I know that I did read that either 2 or 3 teenagers were held. They were being held at Her Majesty's prison. Well, not Her Majesty, no.
His Majesty.
The King, His Majesty's prison. until they had corrected that situation, and they had corrected that situation, so they're taken it back. But I haven't heard nothing from the government, and this is not the first time we're talking about that facility.
Yes.
I haven't heard nothing in relation to that, and the reality is, if you have people in the society who needs to be separated from the civilized persons in society until they get their behavior together, it just must be done.
But there should be a facility identified, if temporarily, until they would have completed the more permanent one. They should identify a facility and have that intact for these troubled kids, because, like you said, and some of these parents are to be some of these parents are to be held accountable as well, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
I believe if the police were to, sort of put some of the responsibility on the shoulders of the parents.
Well, it's not the police, it has to be the lawmakers. The police only carry out what the law says.
I understand that part, yes.
So it can't be the police.
The judicial part of it, should be stepped up a bit more, and perhaps we'll see a change.
But I agree with you with the family part of it, and we have had discussions about it, and to every time we have these discussions, it's going to come up again. Not to say that, quote unquote, well-off families or good families, children don't go rogue to, right? That's not to say that, but when you look at the numbers, I don't know that the numbers support that it happens more in that area as opposed to in that sector, as opposed to over here in this sector.
Well, let me just rephrase it a bit, if I may. When I say hold some of the parents responsible, it doesn't mean that it's going to be all penalty. I'm talking about, like, find out why some of these issues occurring in the home, what assistance can be given to assist some of these single mothers, because majority of these troubled children, believe it or not, they're living with single mothers.
That's true. But don't we have what I call them people there? Some kind of officers, social workers, and so who, if you might find a situation with a child at school, that might lead to these social workers visiting the homes to see what's happening, that kind of stuff.
I have no knowledge of such. But if it does exist, there's a deafening, sound in the air, because we haven't heard from any representative of this organization, if it does exist.
I think they are. I think they. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are. Truancy. They used to call some of the truancy officers that they would go around and if children who's supposed to be in school and not in school, you know what I mean?
That was a thing of the past, Beef.
It's still on the books now.
It's still on the books, but who's actually
which brings me to this point.
Yeah.
This week, I've been, home, and some ideas, some things come to your mind, and so some thoughts come to your mind, and to me, and it's just how I see it. And again, as I always say, I don't have all the answers. If persons out there hear me saying something incorrectly, feel free to call me and correct me, if that's the case. But when I look at the country, when I look at government services that different government departments offer, you know what I mean? I hardly find anything that work efficiently, because I can almost bet that there's truancy officers still in the books. I don't know how much they have, but I'm sure when you do check into it, maybe they're working with the basket carrying water.
I can say something, but I wish to refrain from saying so.
Okay, well, refrain then, if you follow your mind. Right? That is just when I look across, what works efficiently? What? Just the other day, me, you were talking about the what I call little wardens, and somebody pass and tell us all them cook the truck to them go cooks. You know what I mean? Well, and I, for one, thought when they were going around the country with it, and I still hold that opinion. I think that's a very good piece of legislation.
Have you ever seen them operating?
No, but maybe when they were in a uniform, maybe they wear a uniform, they don't know. Or maybe they don't wear uniforms and they just blend in. I don't know.
I'm talking about like stopping a vehicle, that's breaking the law.
No, I have never witnessed that.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
I haven't witnessed that. you know. But I just got to thinking during the week there to what works. I mean, you pass a law, and when the law is passed, it can't be activated because you didn't do what you do. Sometimes the police get some pressure that is really not there because they have to operate. The police have to operate in concert with the law.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in this country, King, when it comes to certain things. I don't know what's happening in this country. But
we need some indigenous people in the positions. That's what, and we'll see a bit more fear.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
A lot of these, so-called organizations. Well, let me not say so-called, but a lot of these organizations that exist today, the leaders that are at the helm, I don't believe that they are paying enough attention.
But how did the leaders then get there if we didn't elect them? And I'm now not talking about the politicians.
Yes, we are not talking
right?
about politicians.
But how does the heads of these departments, leaders in these departments, like I heard your friend talking about the lady who is the head of the festival commission, festival board, and I could play it, you know what I mean? The issue was whoever run your culture is supposed to look like you. But how did she get the position?
Well, she wasn't just she just didn't go into the office and start.
But you realize, them cause she, but then cause who put you there?
Well, I've heard that rhetoric time and time again,
With different
passing who created the problem and going straight towards others. Sometimes so when you're on the basketball court, you see a man there feel they can bang off, you know what I mean? And somebody that you know can bang you, knock you on like a elbow or something, and you take them out on the man that you know you can bang off. So that's just the nature of the story.
I mean, anyway, it is what it is. We see it,
Yeah.
But when we reach to the stage that we say these little things have to be fixed, they will be fixed. And I hear some people saying, just know I'm saying that it just come to my head. I hear some people saying, beef on radio cause government, whatever the case is. Let me go slow and let me tell them people this so that you all know. You understand what I'm saying? And my mother's name was Catherine Joseph. She has died. She died. And my father's name was Jeremiah Dodge Joseph. Jeremiah Nathaniel Dodge Joseph. He dead. There is nobody on the face of this earth that me can tell what me have to tell them. Nobody. Okay, people out there who talk, I know who I be, so let me tell you this. Anything me have to tell are you, and anybody are you associate with or around are you, me will tell you. I'm going to do it respectfully initially. But if you try disrespect me could disrespect you. Just like how you give it to me, I saw me could give it to you.
But it's only fair.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, and I have to wonder and say, me come on this radio station, yeah, and me talk what me feel to be right. Y'all get it? No. In a manner sense, I complain to all kind of people because none of them can put me over their knee and bang me. None. So in a manner sense. So I just get that right, get that straight in our head, that's why it be. Now, also as me say that, I don't want to check the fact that my days are decay for cap high pressure. Because when high pressure go up, it might get so high I might get a stroke. And if you get a stroke, you might become a vegetable. You might become one burden on your family. You know what I'm saying? So in a manner sense, I put ourselves through that stress there. Because you're not going to change nothing. Remember there was a time when we were there by a particular place. And I'm in a rush to go to work. Go to work now. I couldn't do five shifts.
They make Facebook and WhatsApp distract you, man.
Go, but no, the face that man are distracted, but I tell them. More than no. Because when we don't tell them, we don't know, we don't like you know.
Bless
We don't lament some over.
Yeah,
so me. So, you understand? You understand people? So, but just want to ever get that in our head. Dave Joseph, fear no man or woman on the face of this earth. And he worse yet, but tell people all the time, if somebody come and criticize me, but look, if Joe Blackie come and say, you know, something with insurance. Look on Joe Blackie, I say, Joe Blackie ain't doing insurance? No, Joe Blackie chop. That's how me operate. So me not understand how me can fear anybody who can talk to for them the family. What sense that can make? You cannot control for you family, but you can talk to me. Anyway, but done with that, Joe Blackie, but just me want to forget that so that they know. So
Bless up.
I don't want to ever go, you know, I try to go slow that I understand. You understand? As far as me know, until Sean, I think Sean, I don't know what the management structure here is, if there's a board or what, I don't know. But until them they decide that they don't want me up on the radio station, that way it be. Luckily for me, when I left Point FM, I said to myself, you know, Dave, build out your own social media space. So I build out my Facebook page, I build out my YouTube channel. You know? Times is a kind of way now that, you know, it is with them social media, you have an outlet.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So, that is available to me. I make sure I put that in place. You know what? Somebody doesn't want to ever get it right. Please, I get up my pressure too high. I get on stroke. And if I get on stroke, it's not going to be a good thing. I've seen people who would have gotten a stroke and so on, it's not a good thing. You understand? So just control yourself and understand that I can't control beef. Can't happen. Will not happen. Talking about crime earlier, Jablaki.
Yes, King.
The same interview, there was, I don't remember his rank. I don't remember the gentleman's rank. If he's superintendent or inspector or what, but his name is Lisbon.
He's inspector.
Inspector?
Yes.
Inspector Lisbon Michael, I believe is the name.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him, and there's something that he said that kind of jumped to me. He said basically that there has been a steady increase in crime over the years.
Yeah.
My mind ran on you when I heard him say that. Why my mind ran on you?
Yeah.
Remember we were having a discussion some time ago with tourists or
Yes.
people who might want to come and visit the island.
Yes.
Might be affected in a particular way based on what somebody might say. So that's why my mind ran on you, because I remembered we were saying somebody who complains, somebody who make a report, what that might, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Represent through the if you extrapolate the figure. So you know what? When I heard it, my mind ran on you.
The operations officer at the Criminal Investigations Department explains reported crimes have been on a steady increase in recent years. He compares figures for January to March with the corresponding period in the last 2 years.
So you're looking at 2021, 783, and in 2022, 836. For this year, there is now 1,099. And so there is an increase by 263.
While break-ins and larcenies are on an increase, there has been a reduction in robberies and homicides. Superintendent Michael believes recidivism plays a role in the increase in criminal activity. He explains while the maximum sentence handed down in the magistrate's court is 2 years imprisonment, repeat offenders serve a fraction of that.
One criminal actually told me that they only spend sometimes 1 or 2 months in prison in terms of those summary matters. Those persons who we have arrested and charged during the month of December, they normally be out for Easter, and then we arrested and charged them, and they end up in the prison. They are out for Carnival and go right down to December. So it is a case that our work is never completed.
While being careful not to criticize judicial officers regarding sentencing, he points to one way to address the problem.
Some of those acts, those pieces of legislation that we really and truly need them to be looked at, to give us more teeth to deal with them.
Correction, he's actually superintendent and not inspector.
Superintendent.
Yes.
Michael is Lisbon Michael,
Yes,
right? Well, the part we spoke about, where they said he didn't want to criticize the judges. It's not judges who make legislation.
Yes.
Judges interpret the legislation made and make rulings.
Politicians.
So if they find that a situation where as a second offender, you're serving less time than when you committed the same thing the first time. And that's something that the lawmakers are supposed to be looking at.
Yes.
But I would have hoped that the police, I'm not saying that they haven't done it, but I would have hoped that the police would have brought these loopholes to the attention of the minister, who happens to be the Attorney General. And to see how you could plug those holes. But when he said that, it jumped at me. I know when he said it over the years, to my mind, he had to have been speaking to pre-COVID. That would be pre-2020. Because remember, between COVID period, we were basically locked down in some way, shape or form. As a matter of fact, some people were saying in the public that the police kind of glad how the place been kind of locked down because it's easier for them. So I don't think that he could. Did he give a year when he said what he said? He didn't give a year.
Well, he gave a year pertaining to the numbers.
He said 2021, 22. So?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, so during the COVID time, he was still increasing. Hold on, let me listen back. Let me listen back to that again.
The operations officer at the Criminal Investigations Department explains reported crimes have been on a steady increase in recent years. He compares figures for January to March with the corresponding period in the last 2 years.
So you're looking at 2021, 783, and in 2022, 836. For this year, there is now 1,099. And so there is an increase by 263.
While break-ins and larcenies are on an increase, there has been a reduction in robberies and homicides. Superintendent Michael believes recidivism plays a role in the increase in criminal activity. He explains while the maximum sentence handed down in the magistrate's court is 2 years imprisonment, repeat offenders serve a fraction of that.
One criminal actually told me that they only spend sometimes 1 or 2 months in prison in terms of those summary matters. Those persons who we have arrested and charged during the month of December, they normally be out for Easter, and then we arrested and charged them, and they end up in the prison. They are out for Carnival and go right down to December. So it is a case that our work is never completed.
While being careful not to criticize judicial officers regarding sentencing, he points to one way to address the problem.
Some of those acts, those pieces of legislation that we really and truly need them to be looked at, to give us more teeth to deal with them.
All right, well, that's surprising to me. That's surprising to me.
Well, again, like he said, legislation needs to be amended to curb these things, because if first-time offenders are the one who are causing the problem here, that is telling me basically that you need to deal with the repeat offenders, and have these things stop occurring.
But it's during the lockdown period, crime was increasing.
Well, you heard the numbers and you heard the years.
Wow, that one is surprising.
Yes.
I would have thought that there would have been a slowing down based on people being...
But he was specific with the crimes that he mentioned, because there was just larceny, break and enter. Those were the crimes that he mentioned. But he said there was a reduction in homicides and something else he said.
And that's why haven't QT addressed this? I really don't know, my dear. I really don't know. I was gonna say something else just in my head.
Yeah, but basically, I believe that they should look at the legislation that's in place.
That should be a continuous.
Yes, and try to curb it so that the repeat offenders that's causing the problem presently, they should be given a stiffer penalty. Yeah.
Fair enough. I can live with that. I can live with that. But I'm a little okay. All right. Kingman, when it was about 2 days ago or so. Today's what, 13th? Yeah, about 2 days ago or so. You know what? Let me play it. Why am I not hearing?
News now concerning waste collection. The National Solid Waste Management Authority says collection in several communities will be unavoidably delayed. The affected communities are now appearing on your screen. In a release issued to media on Thursday, the NSWMA says the delay resulted from several operational challenges that it is experiencing. The NSWMA did not specify the nature of these challenges that are being experienced. The authorities also reminding the public you can report delays by contacting the hotline number at 562-1347. It assures of a prompt response once it is alerted.
Well, by me, by my area, once I see them on Saturday, we don't know. The private haulers are then our work.
But
when the private haulers work, they come Friday.
You're fortunate to see them the next day, you know. My garbage collection takes place on a Monday. This week I was to take my garbage to the dump by myself because they wasn't collected. And,
what I had truck to break down?
I don't want to speculate. So
hey, look, the Blackie, you not speculate? Hey, the Blackie, let me just put the camera for you so that we can go get some drink. You know what I mean? Because we don't really understand.
I don't mean try to say.
We really understand what you really have to boy.
Me don't know what go on with the compacted trucks. I'm
the Blackie say he not speculate.
I'm a hauler. I deal with debris and bulk waste and stuff like that. So I can give a call from my side of this stuff. I don't know about the compacted trucks.
What the compacted truck can be?
Those are the trucks that take the household stuff.
Then the one that when they throw the thing in the back, you pull up the thing.
Yes.
That's when they use the sweet aisle for the hydraulic.
Yeah, apparently one of them will do that.
Yeah. You know, I'm supposed to play the clip with you now. I'm supposed to play the clip with you now. The Blackie.
Clip that.
But when I remember now.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Bill.
Hey, what's up, King?
Yeah, bless up. Yeah, Kent.
Yeah, man, every time.
I'm really familiar with the next gentleman in there, but he'll up still.
Bless up.
Yeah, me listen, my name calling to certain things, and trust me, I really want to the station, you know.
You hear that call, you don't tell like us.
Oh, well, me just want to claim my name beef, because trust me, my brother, me never start nobody, okay? If you all want to know exactly
that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll have the opportunity to question me now. And,
go ahead, tell us about the incident.
Pardon me?
Tell us about the incident where put this? When I said they say where you went to collect a check up at National Solid Waste and there was an encounter with a person with some of the checks.
Well, I was called to collect my check on the day. You know, whenever they're going to paying, they will issue out calls and let you know to come and collect a check. So that day I went to collect my check. Having arrived at the premises, I received a phone call telling me that my name was taken off the list. Now, I rejected it because there's no way they can just select your name and take it off the list if you're already selected for payment. And they never really wanted to pay me any attention, and so a Syrian individual was passing out with some checks, and I just slightly picked them out of his hand. I never thought them.
Hold on there. Can't go back. Can't go back.
Yeah.
Take me back from a minute ago when you say you called for a check, they called you, and they said they canceled check. Take me from the point again. You said you saw.
Say that again.
You saw a Syrian gentleman with some checks, and you gently took them out of his hand.
No, not gently. I just hit them out his hand.
You hit them out of his hand.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And you don't consider that to be an assault?
That's an assault, base. But if that's the term, I see lots of things happening in this Antigua, and when it hits the news, you're really wondering if that's the term they should use or whatever. But perhaps just the way they have to intensify to get attention or whatever. But what I'm saying, the checks fell on the floor, and I took up one and just dismembered it just to try and get some attention.
What dismember mean? I don't understand what the word mean.
Tear them up.
Oh, you tear up the check?
And that may tell you.
The check them off for your name?
Hey, man.
Go ahead, Blackie, make your point. Because the point that I was making, right, is that even... Anyway, we're not going to further that. But promise you never make a play.
No problem.
Tonight. Like I say, he just gently knocked him out and dismembered the check. But when I heard what somebody said here, technical issues that the release was speaking to.
Yeah.
Technical issues is man pocket empty.
Well,
man pocket being empty can lead to the
non-collection.
Eh?
Non-collection.
It can lead to that. It can also lead to what you call the compactor truck. Some now work too good.
Maintenance.
It can lead to all the kind of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But I heard, well, we have the discussion all the time,
Yeah, man.
We hear it. I sometimes cool out by public works and I hear people over there talk about it, especially when at one time government was paying, I think it was back pay, or it's not back pay, overtime pay. So one of the pay they were paying. And the guys then they were saying as to sometime you have to pass and change. For your voucher, move for over there and go over there.
Wow.
Reach to the treasury,
Yeah.
And they say, me tell you what school children say.
Yeah.
They say sometimes when they go treasury, if something pass. Hey, look, when I heard the thing, I said to myself, this place is a real place. And then I heard a discussion the other day, and I smiled to myself,
Aye.
Hold on there, voice. Can you imagine I work hard for my money? I'm out there cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And in order for me to get my money, I have to pay somebody something on that for me to get my money. I want it. You see why jail and cemetery can never be empty? I work hard for my money. In order for me to get my money, I have to pay a man, maybe give him $5,000 out of $50,000 and $20,000 for he to pay my money. And he work with free salary now. I boss them to be. Why you think other people does always get their checks? Yes, because $5,000 now, $10,000 out to the big check for you. I owe people $300,000 and $250,000. And when they go for their money a week and then we get $2,500. Oh, well, that's all we have. But watch the hell of a check you move out with. And if I only go in for your bag, look and check in there. I think there's something around here.
When I heard that, my run people.
Well, somebody tell Sly J.
When I heard that, my run people, I say, boy, at the same thing me hear, just block any friends in them I conversate about.
A long time, but such is life, King.
I want to listen to them again. So this is what happened. And, you can imagine this is how the country run. So you work, and the government might owe you some money, or the organization they might owe you some money, because then they pay on time.
Yes.
So they might owe you 100,000.
Yes.
Two things. In order for you to get anything, you have to give somebody 10%.
That's one of the option.
One.
Yes.
And two, when we hear, and I remembered having a discussion with a few persons, when we hear that extra monies was being given,
yes,
to liquidate,
yes,
something, then you're hearing that not even a month rule is going extra. And as he said, they just know, if me owe you $50,000 and I get $2,500, what is that?
Ain't nothing changed. And let me say this. For the past 5 weeks, I've been going to the National Solid Waste for checks.
Mhm.
I haven't collected one.
For 5 weeks?
For 5 weeks now. And they're supposed to pay every 2 weeks. That's the position right now. And the problem is that,
So maybe that's why you believe that. Well, let me tell you what I deduced to my mind. Because I remembered, I think I came here on the program to almost say it now, that if for whatever reason solid waste know that they're not going to be able to pick up their work, they should say something, because at the time
that's
you would be
problem
bringing out your stuff and
that's
then
the
right.
problem I'm
But
having,
I'm saying the fact that they have now done it, I'm wondering to myself if that they're saying, because just after the election or going before the election, hold a second here. Hello, Mr. Call. Sorry about that call. Call me back. Just after the election or just before going to the election, there was a discussion that things had to be realigned down there.
Yes.
Right? I think persons were saying that there were too many trucks.
Persons?
Yeah, persons were saying that.
Okay.
We're not calling by name.
Yeah.
Right? There were too many trucks. I haven't heard nothing that say something is happening. I learned recently there that the gentleman, the person who was there, is not there, but I haven't heard. Coming back to this now. Good night, caller.
Good night, Biff.
Hey, where's who this Rasai?
Yeah, my brother. And good night, go Blackie.
One love, Rastaman.
Every time. Biff,
Hey.
that clip me that you played us for a while with Slige. Our long time, some that happened, that clip that happened recently.
No, that was from the 8th of May. What date was it? What day was it? Friday?
This year, Biff?
The 8th, no, Monday of this week. Monday of this week.
Either Biff, you tell me, man.
Huh?
So in order for me to get my money, I have to pay you something.
It's so and so.
Time and Biff, for trouble is them something, you know that time, Biff. And then Biff, this is the thing what me can understand. Me talk about with the board members and them. You know how come back in the days when this and that from board and how much people you people have on board, people bet about that and complain about that. But how come now in the them time you know Beef, how come so much people from board?
No, and so much people on board, right? And so much people on board.
Why Beef?
It's the hypocrisy of some of the people on the board. Because some of them who may get 4 paycheck, they may get them paycheck from the ministry, they may get them paycheck from one subsidiary company, they may get a paycheck from the main company, and they may get them paycheck as liaison officer. The last time I checked, that may be 4. Some of the people who get 4, they forget that I used to say, Jesus Isaac may get 4 and 10.
4 check and I'm funny, I just get how much you check. So how come now that them they get all them check it out? Yeah, right there.
Well, the conclusion I'm gonna come to is that when you get the checks in your account, that's the conclusion I'm gonna come to. So when if you get 5 check,
you can't go.
You can't buy the count.
Yes, so after you done pass one and that's it. You still remain one day.
And then when you stop get the check now, and people start to beg for you also, then they can count now. Because I realize now, when I get 4, may get 2 or 1.
You complain and you count that 2 little bit. When you count, I forget 5.
You look so.
Yeah, and then Beef.
Hold on. Go ahead, Rasai.
Me do like investigation and all, and for the minister of that used to be over aviation and over ATOA.
That is Sir Robin Yearwood. Yeah.
Yes. Me check and see the amount of board and stuff that he passed. But me say Beef that should right Beef.
What wrong about it?
No politician supposed to pass so much board Beef and collect all the money.
Me hear what you say, but you say nobody supposed to do it, but what you measure that against?
What that?
What are you measuring it against? It should happen. One politician can come and say, I'm supposed to ban 10 boards.
No, Beef. If you go on 10 board, what about our now that can't get paid that work for the government? Look at this solid waste.
Well, I just continue. If I can't get paid, I just continue, Soxal.
No, Beef, that can't work. Save money and then Beef. No, you don't get, hey, as a politician, Beef, this is our mission. And the people that need to line up for them something because as a politician, you don't collect 5 months salary. You're not supposed to pay nothing else. No money that's supposed to come out, the tax money is supposed to go to you. That shouldn't be Beef. There's something they're supposed to cut Beef. At time enough, a politician has like a conscience man Beef. You don't get your month salary, 10,000, 20,000, whatever the case be, okay, that is good.
Wait, hold on there. You was not worried. What conscience be?
Well, conscience...
Because only, one next thing they may notice, you only have conscience when in the opposition now. When in the government, you're not a conscience.
You're not a conscience, no Beef.
Rastaman.
My brother.
Yeah. In a few years, then we celebrate 50 for that same individual.
You cut out, I mean, never make cut out, like, I mean, hear that. You say celebrate something, repeat what I say, this about my brother.
In a few years, then we celebrate 50 for that same individual day. Such a stalwart in the political scheme of things. And he love Antigua plenty. You see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So wrong with that?
He love Antigua plenty.
He love Antigua plenty.
What I mean? He love Antigua plenty.
I mean, I have no evidence that he no love Antigua.
He love
No,
Antigua
babe,
plenty.
babe, me don't love Antigua plenty for him. Me make all the money there.
Well, love Antigua plenty, you get 4 paycheck now.
But how you mean, babe? You have love Antigua?
Yeah, love Antigua plenty.
And you not study about the other man that now get paid a base. That's the whole problem that me have with them man that collect some money and pass some of the board in the base. Nothing wrong with you get where you get now, but you have a study on boy. What about this man that not get money? What about the teachers and them? What about
You
the
feel
nurses and
you
them?
feel let them they think about that? You really believe that them people they really love country and think about country?
No, I believe no, remember me, no. Remember me, no, because me can tell you straight up, no, me, no. Because me and all go to something straight with me, with the same individual.
And now here people are ball for them and say that they want back them subman so they want back them position. People say that they take money out of them pocket.
But anyway, my brother, let me tap all up the line, King. You don't know about my blood.
Bless up yourself, King.
Every time.
All right, my brother, that's nothing.
Everyone.
Yeah, brother, respect Blackie.
Yes, right.
Bomb 907 and that. We'll come back to this year again.
Hold on there, voice. Can you imagine I work hard for my money? I'm out there cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And in order for me to get my money, I have to pay somebody something out that for me to get my money. I want it. You see why jail and cemetery can never be empty? I work hard for my money. In order for me to get my money, I have to pay a man maybe give him $5,000 out of my $50,000 and $20,000 for he to pay my money. And he work with free salary now. I boss them to be. Why you think other people does always get their checks? Yes, because you know 5,000 now, 10,000 out of the big check for you. I owe people $300,000 and $250,000. And when they go for their money a week and then we get $2,500. Oh, well, that's all we have. But watch the hell of a check you move out with. And if I only go in for your bag, look and check in there. I think there's something around here.
Blackie, you know, because, you know, Monsieur, okay, you may have a dismember the check. Monsieur, okay, you may have a dismember the check, Blackie. You not trying to sweet dial in the hydraulics.
Tal, what me with that? I mean, don't work hard. You don't work hard, King. So me feel me deserve that even if me just for maintain my truck, I suppose I can do that.
Try and try some sweet dial in the hydraulic and so on, no?
Nah, gonna truck. Truck go mash up, nah, gonna truck.
Somebody said me picture the truck, no?
Achoo.
Yeah, but it's not you.
Tal, me say.
But it's not you. Somebody said me picture the truck. Hey, I think people have a lot of stuff.
You can't put them up?
No, but no, when I make maybe next week we're gonna make Eugene. We'll make Eugene put up.
Yeah, we show people, man.
Somebody there driving behind the truck.
Yeah.
I recognize the truck. I said to the said, this is the sweet hydraulic.
Yeah, for show people, man. Yeah, for show people.
Hey, look, I love a lot of things. But on a serious note, King.
Yes,
on a
sir.
serious note, you know, and we're coming back to the seriousness of the situation. I've heard there's two arguments. The government argument is that there's growth in the
economy.
Yeah. And then you hear the opposition say, okay, yes, there's growth, but how is the poor people feeling that growth?
Yeah.
Are they feeling that growth? And when I heard this, my mind ran on that debate, whether the chicken comes first or the egg, basically, you know what I mean?
Even with the prediction that the economy is expected to grow this year, Prime Minister Gaston Brown says his administration has experienced an increase in arrears. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, have predicted economic growth of over 9%. While it is good news for the country's fiscal standing, reducing the domestic arrears is priority for the government. The increase in arrears is partly in response to the decrease in revenue during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Fundamental challenges, cash flow challenges arising from the reduction in revenues that we've seen during the last 2.5 years. In fact, we would have seen an increase in arrears. So that is an issue that we're grappling with at this point to try and eliminate the arrears, especially on certain debts, including domestic suppliers.
So, go ahead.
Well, you know, I receive emails from state insurance and so on stating that my vehicles are going to be expiring and these things. You know, the government wants its money, but For some reason, you can't get for your money. You know, that's the problem we have.
And not only you, that's a cycle. And as you would have heard, the Prime Minister would have said that there's increase in the domestic debt, and I'm sure regional and international debt have to be paid also. And this is a crunch, you know. Most of
Where
these
the increase
statutory
come from? Where the increase come from?
Well, I think he mentioned COVID. I think didn't he? I think I heard that. Where is it? I think I heard it.
Even with the prediction that the economy, the
One second
COVID-19 pandemic,
One
its fiscal standing, reducing the domestic arrears is priority for the government. The increase in arrears is partly in response to the decrease in revenue during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Fundamental challenges, cash flow challenges arising.
Hello, good night, caller.
Good night. This is Beef?
Yes, it is.
Good night, Beef and the Rasta man.
Bless up,
What's
man.
up, King?
Bless up.
Yeah, I'm not really too much into the politics, right? Let me preface my comments by saying that. I'm too much into the politics. When election time comes, we just go and do a mouthful. I'm not really into the party loyalty thing because it kind of turned me off, right? But I was listening to the radio the other day. And I hear the Prime Minister make some comments, right? And he kind of shocked me. It no matter who the Prime Minister may be, whether he red or he blue, it no matter. If anyone of them is say this here, but I ask question. I'm sure you hear the comments on them too. He said when election was coming, he take people out of his constituency and put them in our next constituency to help that candidate day.
No, he didn't say that part there.
Never hear that part.
Yeah, correct me. What you said?
What he said that, as a matter of fact, make a plate. But he said, because that's the best way to do it, to play exactly what he said, so we know he said. But I think he basically, no, yeah, right, man, but just protect you and us, because right now, Sue in the ground, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he basically said that the status quo was left as it is. But I'm going to play it back so you know exactly what he said. But I know the comments that you're referring to. Go ahead. Hello?
Continue.
Yeah, continue. I'm going to play the comments so we know exactly what he said. But I know what you're talking about, so continue. What about the shock you?
My interpretation of it is, right, that there are registered voters in his constituency, right? And however he do them, he transfer them from, or if not him, somebody in the relevant authority, transfer them from his constituency to another constituency. Am I correct so far?
No. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me get it played before we go any further.
Yeah, man.
So that we know exactly.
I want some clarification. I want to find the wrong on this.
Okay, let me tell you what to do.
Actually, you can hold on the line.
When I play clip, you could hear it when I play it on the telephone.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Okay, well, let me see if I could find it. What am I looking for? Oh, Gaston Brown.
Transfer of votes.
No. You don't know for me. Me kind of hide up my son kind of house so that I can't thief for my son. You know, me all think ahead.
Every time.
I didn't transfer people into my constituency, you know, we transfer out to help other candidates. Or left others who were registered outside of my area, left them in those areas rather than transfer them in to give others a better chance.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I hear you say he transferred.
No, he didn't say he. He said we didn't transfer out. But, well, let me tell you my interpretation of it. And I heard a discussion today also, and I think it further supports what I believe. When he said that we didn't transfer out.
We didn't transfer in.
We didn't transfer in.
Yes.
That's what me didn't transfer in, transfer out.
No, but don't understand that to mean to mean that the individual, the actual party, because the actual party cannot transfer the body in and out. That's a process. That's a process controlled by the Electoral Commission. What I believe you was talking about, and when I don't have those recordings, I have them, but I don't have them cut. I didn't get to prepare them for tonight. But what he basically was saying, if I'm running in this constituency, right? And I know that Jablaki lives in my constituency. I have reasons to know that Jablaki lives in my constituency. But Jablaki is registered in St. Peter. I am saying, instead of me going to the claims and objection process and objecting to Jablaki being on St. Peter's list because I know he lives in my constituency, I just leave it alone. Because I'm thinking that maybe my compadre over there would be able to benefit from a vote from Jablaki. You understand the point I'm making? So it's not a situation where I believe that they're saying that we did not transfer, whether in or out, meaning that they control the process. It is having knowledge of the situation. I remembered some time ago there was a discussion also where it was said that a popular football executive was registered in one constituency, but he actually lived in another constituency, and the road was the dividing mark. And the person said, I didn't even bother with that because one vote against me over here can't stop me from winning by 1,500. So it's not that they're saying that we effected the transfer. It's that you have knowledge of something, but you did not act upon that knowledge because you believe your compadre could benefit from it. That's what I understood it to mean.
Beef me hear what you say now, but that's not what he said.
Well, Carla, let me tell you this.
Well, but not for sure he say that he transfer, because but not for sure that he can't transfer.
Beef.
Go ahead.
Listen, there is going to be an investigation into this matter.
Hold on, they may come to that.
Yeah.
Now, I'll come on to that, because I heard that too.
Okay.
Go ahead, Carla. So
Yeah,
we have a difference of opinion. You and me have a difference of opinion.
Yeah, man, because me hear what you were saying now. What you were saying makes sense. But that's not what he said.
Well, me can't hear the something when he you know.
No, but what I want, okay, so let me ask you a question. Wherever you're living,
yeah,
if you want to transfer to another constituency, assuming you meet the requirements, can a politician, either where you live now or where you're going to, can that politician transfer you?
No, he can't do that.
So then you see why I said that he could be saying that he transferred nobody?
So why would he say then that we transferred people out? Because those were his words now. We transferred them out.
But what I'm saying to you, the we transfer people did not mean, as far as I'm concerned, that they actually did the transfer. The transfer is a process that is controlled by the Electoral Commission. You have to go. You make an application. The transfer is done. You go on a list. Then I think they call it list C. Then you have claims and objections. And if there's no claims and objections, then you're transferred.
Exactly, because I did some research. I went to look to see what is the process to transfer somebody out.
That basically
it's a lot of things. You can't just make a phone call and say, "Hey, move this person over there."
That's what I know. So then when he says, if you're going to take it to literally mean we didn't transfer nobody out, right? The literal understanding of that is we would have been controlling the transferring situation, and we are transferring you out, or we are transferring you in. But the we cannot be understood, as far as I'm concerned, to mean the individual political party, because the individual political party does not control the process. What I think it means is that I had knowledge. I would know that Jablaki lives here, but Jablaki is on that list there, and I can rightfully make an objection against Jablaki, or I would have reasonable success if I make an objection against Jablaki. But because I believe Jablaki can assist my colleague over there, me just leave it alone.
What I can say,
because beef in the world we live in, right? It might not be right, but perception is reality.
Agree. I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
And if you don't clarify, because he's the prime minister, if
no,
you don't
well,
clarify your words.
Well, Jablaki, no. This is where Jablaki is going, because today, certain things were said, but I'm going to get into that down, Jablaki, or something. But certain things were said today. For your benefit, maybe you didn't hear it, that the Electoral Commission, information being in the public, letters was written to the Electoral Commission to conduct and suggest that an investigation be conducted. But we'll get into that a little later in the program.
Yeah, that brings me to saying this, because this kid, he said that a couple weeks ago. And it's only now we're hearing anything of substance from the Electoral Commission in regards to this now.
What of substance?
Electoral Commission.
What of substance did we
hear?
hear?
My name.
But what of substance have we heard from the Electoral Commission?
Nothing really.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering. Because what I know the Electoral Commission came and told us is what was the process for transfer.
I saw that.
But nobody asked them about that. The issue wasn't that.
Saying what we already know. They didn't speak specifically to his statement.
Well, we haven't heard nothing at all from the Electoral Commission. It's only today we would have heard that the Electoral Commission was written to by, I'm not sure if it's their minister or if it's a political party. I'm not sure. But it's only today we heard that. Go ahead, Julucky.
What I can say is that I can't interpret for the Prime Minister what he meant. If there is an investigation that's supposed to come out of this, then we will know exactly what he meant by his words. Yeah.
Okay, I can work with that. But as the Prime Minister, he needs to be a bit more responsible with his words.
Blessed.
At the very least.
But why you believe he wasn't being responsible?
Well, you know the type of man he be. When he gets in front of Mike, he just...
What am I going to look at on the next way? What am I going to say? Tall. After me drink on the ear boss? Oh, what the world?
Man, do you think?
What am I going to believe that when the Prime Minister talk, he's talking the truth?
Oh, well, that... Boy, I'm a funny thing with that man.
No, I don't understand why people just believe that when you hear somebody say something and not being truthful. If the man, well, the way how I look at it now, I don't know that the Prime Minister is not, the Prime Minister is supposed to be more sensible than me. So many things the Prime Minister will go and say things that he don't know about, just talk with the head, many things. So.
Well,
they haven't shown me differently that,
he clearly knows something that we don't
Well,
know.
that might be true too.
Clearly.
You see, when they ask the Prime Minister if, they ask the Prime Minister if the American government has said they don't want to talk to a minister, the man say that's national security, we can't discuss with you.
Me hear that one.
So that means you have information that we don't have. So that's a given.
That's a very sticky one.
That's a given. All right, man. Go ahead, sorry. Well, all I'm going to tell you, the point that I'm making is, the Prime Minister would have more information, I believe, than what we might have. And I'm already convinced that not everything that of importance that is discussed in cabinet is shared with us in the post cabinet press briefing. We know that.
Yeah, that's true.
So we just have to keep trying to figure it out, No problem, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, man.
Bless up.
Every time.
Yeah. Where was I? Good night, caller. Hello, good night, caller.
Beans, good night.
Hey, could you turn on the radio, please?
Yes, give me a minute.
No problem.
Well, the man there just a while ago me wanted to bring blood. you couldn't explain it better than how you explain it.
Yeah, well, you know
let's say the Prime Minister come up. You tell him exactly, you play the tape, and you tell him what the tape said, and he still come this one. Them are headache people, man. Thank you, Beef.
No problem, man. That's how it is in radio. We're here to, we're having a conversation. At least that's how I look at it. We're having a conversation, and we're here to help one another. Sometimes Chablaki can help me, sometimes me can help Chablaki, and the callers will help us, and we will help the callers. None of us have all the answers. None of us have all the answers. It's the conversation that we have, and when we put all ideas together, then we come out with what we're going with. So
indeed,
we'll just see how that goes. All right. So I was at the why I played what the Prime Minister said in relation to the increase in debt and so is that money is not indefinite. There's a limitation to it. So there's going to be some juggling. Generally speaking, when a statutory body is experiencing financial challenges, they look for a bailout from the government. But central government have its own issues to deal with, right? And they have to try their best to do, what it is.
Beef.
Right.
The teachers and the nurses would have demonstrated about 2 times already
The teachers, well, the teachers is finished. The teacher situation is finished.
Well, I'm talking about in the past,
Mhm.
in about 15 years,
Mhm.
National Solid Waste have been undergoing this problem.
But but what's the difference between National Solid Waste people and the teachers?
Well, there's not a big difference. The only difference is that they are unionized, and
there's not a big difference.
Well, that's a big difference. Meaning
So
human.
wait, so the haulers and them can come together, can unify to fight their cause, and if they can unify to fight their cause, we don't want to hear from them.
You see, like how you say, certain people forget money, they have to do certain things.
And me say so, slightly. Me hear the talking, but me hear slightly, me say so.
Well, certain people will get pay and act like them that get paid too.
So then the point that I'm making is this.
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, what is happening now with the nurses?
Yeah.
In my opinion, the nurses are benefiting from the position taken by the teachers. Right? I'm gonna come back to you. Let me just bring this call. I'm gonna come back. No, let me forget that. Good night, caller.
Uncle Biff.
Hey, what's up, Big King?
Me ain't no king, man. Me ain't no king.
Yeah, you big like Harry now, man.
Rumor saying that you married in a auntie gonna hold you.
Hey, when we can't marry that thing, you know.
Spy, I watch your Friday time.
Hey? Spy?
I watch your Friday
Hey,
time.
let me watch my more on a Friday time, King.
That me want it.
Hey, so Devon tell me all the time.
So everything okay?
But no, the Lord is good.
Yeah, man. Hey, good night, Dr. Blackie.
Blessed, my brother, every time.
Yeah, man. Always nice listening to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah, and guys, me if my madam said to tell you that thank you very much because she used some hydraulic and fry some fish today. and the fish,
how the fish taste?
Hey.
well, to be honest with you, she used hydraulic and fry the fish and use the sweet oil and show in the vehicle.
Hey, look.
How the vehicle work?
When I change on gear go tongue and the vehicle much quicker.
Hey, Randy, you're the crazy.
Yeah, definitely. But that's a new metal. Let me say something because let me speak in from 45 years of experience. You understand?
Uh-huh.
Now, anytime we have to use a different aisle to show in a vehicle, but the first thing, I have a problem with people working for people and afraid to call their name who you're working for. You follow me clearly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
I have a serious problem with that. And Beef, my madam is here to tell you. You want to speak to Beef?
Yeah, madam. What name, madam?
Security reason.
Okay, man, understand that.
Yeah. 150 me have. Me hear you say you have, yeah, 150.
Okay, I'm glad for you.
Yeah.
You try ketchup Solomon.
Yes. She said she want to hear the clip again.
Which
The
clip?
hydraulic. Yeah.
She want to hear the hydraulic clip?
Yes, she would definitely want to hear it before she hugged me up tonight.
Hey, me don't know if me want to go down the road again.
Yeah, but she said she want to hear it.
Hold on, Dick.
I want to get hugged up now.
But I want to get hug up and all too.
Yeah, but if you
But me see,
hug up.
hold on, me see. Normally, let me tell you how you go when we come in here.
Yes.
Joe Blackie.
Yes,
sir.
Not Joe Blackie.
That's okay, man. Me a black
Randy.
man too.
When we come in here, you look. Somebody access the system here from remote,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Because you will hear work, and you see all kind of stuff to move behind the screen. You know.
Okay. Leave it there. Moon get hug up tonight then.
Sometimes when you try to move one some,
Yes.
you move them and then move them back.
Oh, okay.
So me no really.
No, if you.
You know, right.
Okay,
So
but
me
just
no
in
know.
case you
Me no know.
accidentally-
What, you know.
Yes.
Go
Try
ahead.
best, Jack, because night till I look at chili, more get hug up.
No, but no. Well, like I say,
Me not no fan.
You're not a fan?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry for you. But you look like I say you're in luck. Because when you start to talk,
Yes.
I see the mouth start to move.
Oh, well, no get hug up tonight then. She smile. Yes, my man, you smile. Okay, you listen, Beef. Say good night, Uncle Beef, no? Say want to get your advice.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
All right, let me see what I do.
Yeah, but no problem. Let him finish up. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying, I have a problem when people work for people and afraid to say who they work for.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just a problem, a serious problem.
Okay.
Let me tell you something of my 45 years experience. When you have to use certain aisle in certain vehicle in terms of the wrong areas, it tells you the truck is not work worthy or road worthy. It shows also the truck is a patient. And Dr. Blackie, listen to me, Dr. Blackie. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The truck is a patient to be on the job and to be on the road. Because what eventually happens, sometimes the truck is leaking so badly, right? That if you show in the real aisle, you're just like you're wasting the aisle.
Yeah.
Blackie, I'm right or wrong?
You're right, man.
So you're throwing all kind of different aisle because you know you're not staying.
You can't throw in all kind of different aisle. You have to throw in one on cheaper aisle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it tells the truck, write down this, it tells the truck is a patient. It tells the truck is not worthy for work.
Yeah, man.
It tells the truck is not worthy to be on the government road.
Yeah, man.
Jabaki, I'm chatting nonsense?
No, you sound good. Go ahead.
Okay. So, guys, hope I educate you and educate the public in terms of worthy. The truck is a patient, not a patient of Mount St. John's or Mount Halberton. A truck is a patient of the work and
Randy.
of the road.
Randy.
Yes, sir.
We had two incidents just the other day.
Yes.
With concrete trucks.
Yes.
You saw what was the result?
Okay.
And you know why that occurred? What that happened? You know, because of faults of the truck. You know.
Right.
Things weren't working the way they were supposed to be working.
Wasn't working the way.
And
So, Blackie, do that is educate any certain sense or nonsense?
no, you sound good. You sound good.
Anytime, if I said, just a while ago I said the truck was a patient, that is a patient.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might think I'm referring to the truck should be in Halberton or Mount St. John's.
Right.
But the truck is a patient to be on the road or to be on the job.
No, but if you say the truck is a patient, maybe instead of going to Mount St. John, you should go Junkyard Cox.
Junkyard Cox
Jim Daddy.
Jim Daddy.
No, well, that not a patient. That of a dead.
Oh, so me have it wrong. Me never be a truck driver.
Right.
So
So, and Joe Blackie, you follow me right?
Yes, I.
Yeah, the truck is a patient.
Yeah, man.
And when you hear the lady say she is a loader, once you work on the truck and working at the back of the truck, that's why she would say she's a woman loader, a lady loader,
Yeah.
because she's a lady.
Yeah.
A man will say no, he's a loader, he's a man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. So I just want to educate the public. Yeah, so I think that truck should not be on the job or on the road. Have a good night, guys.
Bless up.
Yes.
Well, if you one thing, what does somebody say? Wait, I have a bird. Okay.
If you'd like to make a call, please
Black
hang
off that. Let me see what I said. Talk to me, people behind you.
On the other hand as well, I have two young people, a beautiful young lady and a handsome young man with me this morning, and they have a little grievance. They have a little bit of a gripe that they want to just air it out. I say, you know what? Come up and talk the thing there, man. So I'm going to say good morning to both of you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I could hardly hear all you. Come to the mic. Come to the mic. There you go. And your that jumpsuit, blue and orange, that is for which department?
Solid Waste, National Solid Waste.
I can hardly hear her.
This is for the loaders department.
The loaders department?
Yes, sir.
Ah, and this is going out every morning and ensuring that Antigua and Barbuda is clean.
Yes. And nice.
And clean and nice.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now you were talking about something this morning, I wanted to quickly grasp what you were speaking about. So go ahead and explain to me.
I'm a female loader.
You're a female?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Because you
For
talk
years.
for years?
Yes, sir.
How long you been a female?
You kill it all.
Go ahead.
You shouldn't feel chasing, man.
Based on my knowledge,
Since you want to find out.
the drivers truck was some hydraulic. Yeah, and some grease. Because the PTO not pulling up properly. Right? So
And
it
it
came out
require
with 3 buckle. One is some black oil and 2 with chicken oil.
Chicken oil?
Yeah.
For hydraulic?
So sweet oil.
Sweet oil?
Yeah.
3 bottle of sweet
Yeah,
oil.
so it's foaming up.
Throw it into the
Well, I'm talk at that one time. So it's foaming up. I said, Paul, you kill our time because I clean cash in and a bill schedule. He said, oh, I kill my time. Me and Kimber. So I call my name, see a few truck. Me and Kimber business that. We say, but you kill our time because bill schedule.
Yeah.
So you might get vexed now and show tires up with a truck like a madman by the road.
You're making joke.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed.
Kimber, know what it is?
No.
We don't call Kimber no one from you. So we don't call him because my manager, I'm a supervisor. I'm a say this I will take it further.
So you call the manager?
Yeah, Mr. Ian Bailey.
Oh, you call the supervisor?
And supervisor too.
As well. And you
Yeah, I talk to you well, you know.
Yeah.
But me take it by my head, don't say me I come to the radio station and make you know what going.
Okay, I
I feel like we don't want to look, we don't work because me love for work. That's
Yeah.
a
Well,
people.
that I know you love to work. No work is too bad for you because I watch you and I see how
Ian Bailey still down necessarily.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I'm going to forget call.
Yeah.
Because like a report was made to him.
As far as I am aware, he's supposed to be there still.
Because remember changes take place down there so.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard anything like that officially up to now. Well, me no know, me no hear nothing.
Okay. Who run down there now?
I don't know because I heard they say that the general manager isn't there anymore, but I don't know.
So me no more about National Salaries are you?
Well, me just go for collect my check now.
But me need to go do that.
Me need go for mine and body business.
But me not on top of do them, but me no more than you something like.
Well, then I go call
Come
me
here
and
and say
tell
the
me
girl
something.
said she don't want the job.
Then I go call me and tell me something like that.
Me and say the girl said she don't want the job.
Who got that?
Okay, man, just ain't call then. Good night, caller.
Hey, blessed night to you, man.
How you doing?
From Jablaki. How are you, man?
Yell up.
As soon as the people are chucking Antigua on the solid waste.
Well, according to they told us that they were overstocked down there.
Me tell the truth, my partner just cut down on Robinson gas station about 3 Sundays ago. And he tell me, boss, he just pulled for me truck from solid waste now. You get paid for 4 months. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm kind of way that, one hand wash the other. And when you go in a certain place and you can, you get like a kickback or something. It's all about kickback. You understand? Jablaki.
Yell up.
And beef. Look, the country in a crisis now. Okay? I mean, I know what the reason why somebody supposed to come out and just tell the people what takes place in this country. Right now, Antigua just look like a ghost now. It's just all about friends and where you can get from certain people, and the country just move on. Just like a chuka. But look, beef and Blackie, Jablaki.
Yes, King.
Water just come on in a cashier lil for couple days now.
Boy,
okay?
Days now me cool water. Days now, weeks,
The people of this country in a crisis.
Let me ask you a question, caller.
Yeah.
When you say the country's in a crisis and nobody is saying nothing and blah 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 blah. When the Prime Minister speaks to the country, you don't believe the Prime Minister?
Well, most of the time, you really listening to the beef.
No, but if you don't listen, you can't hear then. Because if the Prime Minister tell you or tell us that based on the arrears domestically, and we can extrapolate that for me regionally and internationally, that it has created a crunch, a money, an availability to money, a crunch.
Right.
He tell us what the state is happening. So why would I not believe him?
Well, as we said like a while, most of the time, might say that listen to the way because you don't realize how in a crisis.
No, you have to listen, man. You have to listen. That's all you're going to hear. You have to listen.
Listen,
you have to listen.
You have to listen, man.
On the wayside, you can tap on the wayside and say how in a crisis.
Okay, fine.
Some man come and tell me that he get paid for 4 months. Are not in a crisis?
No, me agree with you on what you're saying now, in terms of you can look at other avenues and draw a conclusion. But I'm saying the Prime Minister is telling us.
Officially, man.
The Prime Minister is telling us now. The Prime Minister, for instance, have come and said, look, and I'm going to play that next. In relation to the different unions who are negotiating with government now, you need to come in a reasonable way, because if what you do is excessive, it could lead to termination of jobs. So the Prime Minister is telling you what it is. So why would I not believe him?
Well, Beef, let me tell you the truth. Me hear the Prime Minister say a lot of things. Okay? And Beef and Jablaki, I ain't think about the cancer center.
the last thing we heard was that he was supposed to shut down
No.
the end of the month.
No, I heard that there was a successful
He
individual.
closed.
Hold a second. Let me hear. You say there's a successful.
There's a successful individual who interested in purchasing the cancer center.
When you heard that?
I heard it during the week on the news.
Okay, I didn't hear the part there.
Yeah.
So Joe Blackie says that so it's open then.
I don't know if it's open or it's closed, but I heard that there is an individual who is interested in purchasing the building.
Okay, so it look as if it's closed temporarily. An arrangement was made from what I heard the chief of staff say.
Right.
To those patients who are there now who were supposed to be getting treatment, I think they would be traveling to Bahamas, I think he said.
Yes, Bahamas.
And for persons now who would have needed a service, the government was making an arrangement for them to go someplace else. But I'm now hearing for the first time Joe Blackie saying that somebody came forward to buy the buy that.
Yes, that was on it.
So somebody come forward with the funds.
From what Joe Blackie said.
I don't
Well, appreciate that
said they
because,
came forward
you know,
with the funds.
me not told the guys that
to buy it. Right.
Yes.
Me not told the guys that to take treatment up there,
Mhm.
you know. And one of them really on a passport.
Okay.
And you kind of like a hard funny, you know, forgot to the procedure then know when you want the treatment, you know. And
have he spoken to, and have anybody given him any advice as to what could possibly happen? Any arrangement has been made outside of, you know?
Yeah, but what happened presently, you know, you go through a lot, you know. And when you hear the news that they're going to close the door, you know, you kind of take it on. You understand? Because, you know, the treatment really helped in the sense because he could not eat and presently he started eating so, you know, that is one good sign still, you know. So we just appreciate that, you know, you can definitely open up that place again that, you know, people can get, you know, service.
But from what I heard, my understanding was that those persons who were being cared for when it should have closed the end of last month,
yes,
those persons were supposed to be going to Bahamas.
Yes.
And the government was making arrangements for persons who needed the care.
Who was on the list for next.
To go to, whether it was Guadeloupe or some other place.
Yes.
So I don't know, again, whatever this negotiation is going on to purchase it, I don't know how soon it will open again locally. But I'll have to ask a question about it tomorrow. But if the person was not getting treatment, well, they said they were getting treatment, right?
Right, they were getting
So then somebody there, so yeah, he should be on the list to get to go where he's going. So what you probably need to do is to, you know, if he's a friend, a good friend, or if the person has somebody taking care of him, is to have them go down to the cancer center, ask a question, or go to the ministry and ask a question. And if they're getting a run around, give me a call and I'll put you under some people.
Okay, appreciate that, you know, because, you know.
Remember,
you know,
have to do that now, you know.
Health to the way right now because, you know, when we have this kind of, you know, how this in Antigua, and they say one of the best. And
I agree. We would be worse off for not having it here.
Yeah, so, you know, let's try to get somebody to fund that and just open up the place that people can get service. That's what we all about.
Let's hope for the best. I keep
praying. I
praying.
left this with the man. Now, a partner called me from, he live in Canada. And he say he see on Facebook I have a problem with water. So I tell you, look, man, we didn't even know what to tell you. So he asked, well, what about Carnival? Because he want to come for Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, but it's up to you, you know.
No, tell him to come.
No, I'm not going to tell him to come.
No, tell him to come. Tell him to come.
Yeah.
I read someplace that I think they put in 2 million gallons extra.
An improvement should be.
And they were catering for the crowd, for the carnival crowd.
Specifically for carnival, they targeted it.
So, Bill, if you tell me, the plan number 4, James, you want help?
If you want help?
Yeah.
I think they say the groundswells are affecting it. But they're working on digging some wells close by that they could draw from the well. So that's what they do. And I don't think for the most part, to be honest, and I have to be honest both sides, I don't think for the most part that we have a production problem in Antigua. What we have is a distribution problem.
Exactly.
So that until we get that distribution problem, a handle of it, that's going to be an issue.
So you have to be a management problem too.
No, I mean, I believe in a management problem.
That unfair for say with the distribution.
Okay, I appreciate that still, but if they can deal some well, please Jack, try to dig the summer left fast so people can get water, man.
Yeah, tell them come and tell them come jump up.
Jablaki, and Beef.
Hey.
Have a good night, man.
Take care, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Bless. You're going to make a point there just now,
Yes,
Jablaki.
Beef, the distribution argument kind of unfair.
Okay, why?
No,
when we talk distribution, we're not talking about distributing to the different places. No. I'm talking about taking it to the different places.
Well, listen
the
to
pipes. The pipes I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay,
that's what I'm talking
understand
about.
all that. I understand all that, but you ever follow the schedule of the water for the week?
Sometimes, yes.
You go back and check, please, for this week, and tell me how much time you see Willie Keys on the schedule for this week.
Okay, but let me ask a question, Jablaki.
Yeah.
Is there no way for the people in Willie Keys to find out from APUA? We were supposed to be getting water on Wednesday. We didn't get no water. What goes? There's no way for people in Willie Keys area to find that out.
I can show you my phone right now, Dave. Of how many times I would have called APUA for the week.
You get them?
Yeah.
What did tell you?
They tell me that they're repairing lines and all sorts of excuse.
So you don't believe them?
Well, man, yeah, me believe them. But it
My
has
partner
been,
Plus, you always tell me.
It has been like this for about 2 months now.
So they will fix line. So when we go in and talk, you have to be them fix line for 2 months.
No, I mean I ask them that.
Why not? Why we can ask them that?
Because every time I call them and I ask them if Willie Keys is on the schedule, they say yes, but there is some mishap that's hampering the distribution of the water to reach Willie Keys. And then it's just only Wednesday alone I receive water for this week, Wednesday.
Wednesday gone?
Yeah.
How long you run for?
You run for about, it was on from around, it was scheduled to come on from 2 p.m. till 12 a.m. and it only came on around 7 o'clock in the night.
All right. So you still operate a system where when the water come, you have a go to full up?
I paid a plumber to install a pump. I have a cistern and a pump. But whenever the government water comes on, the pressure is so low that it can't cut out the pump and take over. The government water cannot take over to distribute into my home. So I have to manually plug out the pump to check to see if the government water is on. And so then I can do my refilling. But apart from that, I have everything in order.
Isn't it possible for you to run something to your cistern with a float in it, so that whenever the government water come or not, it goes to your cistern and it run off your pump all the time? That's not possible?
Well, the property that I'm presently at right now is not my present property.
Okay, I understand. So that those things are not put in there. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna tell you what to do. Remind me next week. Call me next week and remind me about
Bless
something.
up.
And let me see if I can call Sir Robin.
Bless up.
Because Sir Robin there for 48 years and nothing happened. Something have happened in 48 years.
You get a new position now.
What position be again? And he the chairman of the board?
That me tell you.
I don't make a call he.
So maybe that position.
Why you can believe I can call you? You believe I call me live Willie Keys and
right.
One constituent?
Right.
Me call as chairman of the board.
Right.
In the minute I call the deputy.
Right. Me hear you.
So next week I will call Sir Robin.
Go ahead.
But me not say you bad luck it bad.
And a bad
The
luck.
the representative for your area, a chairman of the board, they can't get the water.
No, me just go up there.
You don't make a difference.
Yeah, from representative.
Yeah, they will you represent you.
Go ahead.
Where you vote and where you represent you now?
Go ahead.
You only vote because you ain't transfer.
Go ahead.
But he representative man. No worry ahead about that. Yeah, I see somebody telling me man for take a break. And I agree with you. But I want to finish off leading up to my break. Because if I do it differently, you can throw the whole thing out the back. I was going back to what the Prime Minister was saying in relation to well, I believe the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister talk. Until I get information that says what he's saying is not true, me can believe until he talk, right? And when he would have said to us that there's an increase in the arrears and you have to juggle around the money, so that and money is not infinite. So as haulers, I may get 2, but I go out in the red. That's what me. Because the money never come from someplace. I don't know if he's gonna come from the Alphanera sale, because I think I heard him say today you got overs of $100 million or something like that going. So maybe money might fly.
There's an expectation that that's what they wait.
Correct. I heard that. So maybe pray that Alphanera sell.
Me for pray Alphanera sell. Pray Alphanera sell, boy.
Pray that Alphanera sell, King. I started to talk about the persons and them who upcoming negotiations. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me play what the Prime Minister said. Let me not say it.
Another challenge the government must contend with is its obligation to increase wages and salaries of public sector workers.
The challenge there is to encourage public sector workers to be as reasonable as possible, recognizing that our fiscal position is not very strong. In fact, the fiscal position of the country is such that we should not be offering any increases. In fact, the IMF would have written in the last Article 4 consultation that there should be no increases based on our fiscal position. And even though there has been some improvements, we still have a major cash flow problem. But as a caring government, a worker-based government, we have chosen to go the extra mile to assist employees to get an increase. Some of the requests that have been made by these bank agents is outrageous, and we're just hoping that they will continue to be as reasonable as possible and to ensure that the government will be in a position to sustain the current level of employment and at the same time to be able to sustain the increases.
The Prime Minister said it is not his administration's intention to consider retrenchment. Therefore, he has appealed to bargaining agents not to be inconsiderate with their proposals.
So we're doing our best. We're going the extra mile to try and make them as comfortable as possible. I also want public sector workers to understand that when you're dealing with increases for 10,000 people, it's a very daunting task to give each person a 20% increase. Now, I know that workers are desirous of a 20% increase, but that is certainly beyond the means of the government. And that is why we are asking for them to be as reasonable as possible and to do nothing to undermine employment. Because the reality is, people who may be pushing for a 20% increase, and that could inadvertently force retrenchment, they may well be the ones to retrench. So, while, for example, push for an extra maybe 10% and then force yourself out of employment. And again, it's not a threat. I just want them to understand the direct correlation between increases in inflation as well as the impact on sustaining employment.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You have any knowledge if any increase was given to the boards?
What I know is that when the Labour Party came into government in 2014, prior to coming into government, the Prime Minister let it be known that you're on a board and you're going to be you're going to be making a contribution to your country, and you'll get a token.
Yeah.
Right? Not to the extent of what was there before, and the government acted on it. Right? Recently, I heard an individual saying, maybe if me put on a board and $1,000 a month, how many get? That was 9 years ago. But we notice how much you get now. I notice how much you get the last 2 years. That's what I'm saying?
So there was an increase.
From what I would have heard. And that particular board, I would have heard, had lobbied hard for it to be increased. I don't know what it is. I heard some figures as to what it is. No, the person that being the deputy.
It would be interesting, my brother. Please, may I beg you, please, if you can find out for me.
No, I'm not going to waste my time with it one day. What I'm going to tell you is that my understanding is that some of the boards that some new comrades are heading, it is being said that those boards are being paid way more than some other boards. I'm going to tell you what I hear.
You can't get the numbers on them.
I have some of the numbers.
Well, give me them, the man. Me want to see them so me can talk about them. Because the problem me have.
You know why you get a stroke?
You know what? No, me not getting a stroke.
You can't make it get the
problem me have, right? You see, when other people supposed to get what they justify supposed to get, there's a problem. All kind of excuses and this kind of
I hear
thing.
what you're saying.
You should be contentive. You should have a mind that can be, reasonable and these kind of things.
I hear what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. Especially when it comes down to, I'm just using an example.
Yeah.
When it comes down to political parties, when they're having their leadership race and so, I always say, somebody gonna have to win and somebody gonna have to lose. The loser, once the loser is satisfied that the playing field is leveled, the loser will accept that they lost. But if the playing field is not leveled, that loser will never accept the results.
Respect.
And what you're saying falls in that line, in that if we're all called upon to make a sacrifice, and all of us are making a sacrifice, people will understand that.
Yes,
right? People will not understand that, as you so correctly said, I have to be considerate. But at the same point in time, you go up on a board that the chairman may get $2,800, but you get $5,000 now.
Let me tell you about that.
Or you up on a board, you make $5,000, and you be an advisor to the minister, you make the next $5,000.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
When people know that.
And I have no kind of sense Panda board day.
Me say me go leave it a rep, saying I had no kind of sense.
Say that again?
Me say me go leave it that you had no kind of sense, because if it's the same person you talk to me, you don't agree with it.
Well, go ahead.
So until we get a handle on them kind of things, right? And again, to be fair, when you're on a board and making a contribution, you drive, go to meetings, and the water you just run, so you're gonna get a token.
Yes.
Right? But some of them people who may not cost other people. Oh, you have 4 jobs. Them they have 4 jobs, no argument day.
But this is what
when the argument come up now, them they make an argument.
This is what I'm trying to say.
That when this minister said that, how I know say when this minister get that, how I know get that.
Look,
so you minister said that the wrong, but no, you in with the right.
This
is the kind of thing where I must say, until I think brother Bob Marley appealed to us, me say, you know what I mean? No, Bob Marley. When you talk about
ask me man, I made a rest thing.
I think the tune of war.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Right. That way it. You know? That's just how it is.
The big boss. Look, let me tell you something. I said this already, I'm going to say them again. If you come up a Saturday waste on a Friday, the faces on them that come up, they will collect check. Let me tell you, they work in other establishment. Some of them have their own business. I may tell you now, them they're the priorities now. At them they have the first preference in the king. And you as a liquor man that have one truck in there that cannot sustain yourself because that's the only way you depend on an income. You get discarded, no brother.
Okay, that is the default position.
And if you talk people, go and carry name, give other people and then fire your truck and so on.
May agree.
And then now they want to come back for people, so a thief and son of virgin.
May agree with you.
Yo,
may agree 100% with what you say.
Just give me a break,
but
man.
What I was supposed to do, expose them people because they have no credibility.
Well, me expose them now because you want to defend people so thief. And cause somebody come and tell you that somebody say something about you fire them chuck. You see hypocrite them be around here?
But you have to be careful. You can't say people foot white and expect that people not take offense.
But suppose nobody may say that they foot white. Suppose somebody want to tell them that for them they foot white. And then use you for say so. And there's some hypocrite them be around here.
Me agree with you.
Blessed King.
Me agree with you 100%. And people know it now. But you see, I'm going to tell you what happened around here in Antigua. When they say certain things, they try to vilify you, right? This is why you see Real Talk ever strive. Because one, they can't get... The people in them who come on Real Talk are conscious people. Are idiots. So they can talk and talk and talk and now get away.
Blessed man.
You know what I'm saying?
Every time.
They can talk, but when I talk about them, I'll get to them. Because while them they appel their lies, right?
Yes, King.
Say what me saying the truth.
Yes, King.
Say where he is in the truth.
Real
No,
talk.
remember, you're not gonna get multiple checks now. But somebody said then they demote you. And how they demote you? You lose checks.
I kind of suit on some me then want for fire upon people if you say anything and
What
all
suit?
of a sudden now.
What suit?
Before time when man me say about 4 check,
What suit?
them me say about sue and all kind of
What
stuff.
suit? I mean a fool with them out.
They fool me.
Fool
me. They can't fool me, man.
Just give me a break.
Can't fool me, man.
If you get 2 paychecks and no paycheck take away, you get demoted.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That for sure. Look, tell the people and them that. And the people you have to tell that.
Real comic.
Yeah.
But anyway, me never been deterred because
You don't know the
me
facts,
know when
man.
me hear
You
people
don't know the
talk.
facts, man.
Me don't know. Me don't see check stubs and all
You
that
don't
kind
have
of
the
stuff.
facts,
So
that's
me no
what they
mean.
say. You don't
Me
have
no
the
mean.
facts.
That's why I say.
You don't
You say
have the
just now. What's soup? Chat and ton of crap.
Scare
in this
tactic,
place.
you know.
Anyway, you're listening to 97.1 ZDK Radio. We're gonna make a quick break and come back shortly. What am I going to go with? Stay tuned.
You gave me life and taught me how to live it, how to crawl, how to walk, how to run. You gave me love and taught me how to give it, made me believe I could fly. And everything you did for me, you did it all the way. Never held back anything. With open arms you held me, kept me safe, dried every tear from my eye. And so I dedicate my life to you, to always make you proud. And every day I wake, I pray that God will keep you safe and sound. Mama, you are the one that I sing to, the rocks that I cling to, the light that's brought me through. You are my shoulder to lean on, your love has kept me strong, you're made to carry on. You shine your light through the dark nights, help me up my whole life, made everything alright. I am blessed because you are mine. And even when I make mistakes, you never leave me. You are there to comfort me. Somehow you always find a way to make everything okay. And when I didn't know which road to take, you told me to follow my dreams. I am all that I am today because of your faith in me. And so I dedicate my life to you, to always make you proud. And every day I wake, I pray that God will keep you safe and sound. And I am so grateful for the love you gave unconditionally. Everything you are is who I hope to be. I hope to be.
I hope so. No. As bad as the seasonal flu, it's worse. The disease is overblown. Over 2 million have died. Let the virus spread to build herd immunity. A lot of us will suffer, and it could overwhelm our health system. Misinformation about COVID-19 has threatened the response since the start of the pandemic. You need to report it when you see it and continue to take safety measures that work. Wash your hands, wear a mask, watch your distance. This message was brought to you by your community hospital, Mount St. John's Medical Center.
From a little cottage in number 3 Casarda Gardens hails Rags to Rugs. 100% handmade Antiguan interwoven rag rugs by J. Lissa Lewis. We have various sizes of floor rugs, decorative wall hanging rugs, and table mats, uniquely and sustainably handmade. To purchase, Send us a message via WhatsApp at 268-770-8088 for directions to our physical location, or we can deliver to you anywhere on Antigua absolutely free. Like and follow us on Facebook at Rags to Rugs Antigua and Made, on Instagram Rags to Rugs, or you can email us at ragstorugs@gmail.com. Don't forget, our rag rugs and table mats are machine washable and dryable. See you soon.
Hey mama, hi mama. Oh my, oh my. Oh mama, don't cry. Gonna give you my flow so high. Reaching out to all the mothers in the world. Sometimes it's just the way things are to be, yeah. Thank you, mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Thank you, mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Listen my words and muttering. Mama, I will never let you down. I'll never go away, I'll always be around. You know why you do it, such love that you found. I'm always gonna let you wear that crown. Through the roughest of times, you maintain your calm towards your only end, while sheltering me from the storm. And when it's cold, you wrap me in a towel so warm. Oh my, I'm so glad I was born. Thank you, mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Oh, thank you, mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. This is my word. I'm gonna make you so proud. Such good son you have. You're the one who teaches me all the good from the bad. Even when the system keeps pressuring my dad, you've got high hopes. Thanks be unto the Most High God. Thank you, mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. No one knows the pressure you bear, just only you. Give you all my love, oh yeah. Thank you, mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. All those pain and suffering. All my vision, aspiration.
Yes, welcome back to Real Talk. Hey, right here on ZDK Liberty Radio, 97.1 FM. Time in studio. Hey, 15 minutes after, 15 minutes after the 10 p.m. hour.
You've been out, even when it's
Dave Beef Josephine and company. And in studio too. Hey, my good buddy. My brethren, Jablaki.
Hey, well, Beef, I have to say I love my mother so much. I'm the product of a single parent mother, you know, and every time Mother's Day comes around, it just touches me so much that my mom has passed away, you know, and I just wish that she was here to see the involvement of her son, you know, but love your mommy all the time.
Your only child? Your only child?
No, man, my mommy have 4 sons, you know, all boys.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love my mother till, you know, out of this world, my brethren.
Well, some people cross the line with my mother. So I'm obligated to bang into me dead.
Yes, I.
And I'm positively sure I'm doing fine. And still can do so much more. You're preparing for the future, my love, you deserve. Keep doing your thing while others not knowing. Go deep inside your heart, mama, you know where it was going. Can a mother lose her tender care for her child that she may show?
Yeah, you can imagine.
Somehow your stars keep
me try to figure about and think back, you know.
For the 9 months you carried me through.
Anyway, you know what? I'm not go down the road tonight. I'm not going to spoil the night.
Bless her.
I'm not going to spoil the night. There will be other nights to that.
Are you the man?
They were ahead. They're going to be other nights. They're going to be other nights to that. Yeah. What the latest you hearing on the sale of the Alfa Nero?
Well, I understand that the payments have been steady every week, you know, and it's been said that it's a good investment because at the end of the day, we'll be seeing something like around 100 million put in the coffers of the country. That's the latest I've been hearing.
All right. Well, the last thing that I heard, what date was on this? When was this? The last thing that I heard was on ABS. There was an interview. Well, part of the news. Mr. Ron Saunders was given an update. It looked to be as if it was around the 9th of this month. Let's listen together. Listen carefully, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir Ronald Sanders has been leading the efforts in the United States to have the vessel removed from the sanctions list. He says the diplomatic efforts have gone well.
Well, I think the diplomatic side of things is virtually over. We've got some administrative difficulties now to overcome, but they're not insurmountable and they're progressing. And that's the important thing. But as far as the diplomatic work is concerned, that is getting the full cooperation of the United States government, the State Department in particular, in resolving this issue, that work is now behind us. We're all on the same page.
However, he explains the administrative matters need to be completed to complement the progress made on the diplomatic front.
And let me make it clear, there's no doubt in anybody's mind right now that this ship is owned by the Port Authority of Antigua and Barbuda. That is clear. Clear in the United States, clear in Antigua, clear everywhere else. What we are doing now is trying to get the delisting to happen by the United States on the basis that all the international agencies have updated their records and show that the ownership is now vested in the Port Authority of Antigua and Barbuda.
Sir Ronald says if these records are not updated by the entities such as the International Maritime Organization in London, then their records would still have the vessel linked to a sanctioned Russian oligarch, and therefore transactions related to it would be frozen.
It is in our interest to make sure that that situation is clarified, that nowhere in the international arena does the ownership of this vessel seem to be anything else but the Port Authority of Antigua and Barbuda, so that it will not attract any freezing orders and our bidding process and the sale of the ship can proceed.
Sir Ronald spoke with us about the time this administrative component of the process could take.
We have now started that process in Antigua through the shipping registry office there, and we hope that in a matter of days the International Maritime Organization will have finished the processes that they have to go through, and that will be the end of that matter.
There are also two entities which laid claim to the vessel, but Sir Ronald says they have provided no information showing who the real beneficial owner is. We then asked Ambassador Sanders when he expects the government will be in a position to be able to auction the vessel.
This is happening now at a number of levels. It was happening at the level of the United States. It's happening now at the level of the international organizations concerned with shipping. These things take some time, but I do not expect it to be an extraordinary amount of time. I think within a matter of weeks, probably less than a month or so, we should see all of the administrative issues surrounding this matter come to an end.
Meanwhile, Sir Ronald Sanders tells ABS News he has been able to galvanize the support of high-level U.S. officials in the effort to have the vessel removed from the sanctions list.
We had people at very high levels of the United States government who were being helpful to our process, recognizing the legitimacy of what we were doing and the justification for it. And I have to say too that the United States Embassy based in Barbados, and the ambassador in particular, were also extremely helpful in promoting Antigua's cause in this regard.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's news. That's news there. But administrative stuff is taking some toll out of them, I guess. In the next month. When was that news item?
That was on the 8th, I think. The 9th. The 9th.
And
that's going to be last Tuesday.
Okay. And before that, we would have heard
3 weeks.
Yes.
And the 3 weeks was supposed to finish about Wednesday of last week.
Yes.
So now another 3 weeks
No,
to
another month.
No, he said not. He didn't expect it to exceed a month.
Well, I can say 1 month.
No, me not use a month. Me can use 3 weeks. You can use a month. Me not use. Me not use.
Go ahead.
Cause me want to be as liberal as I can.
Go ahead.
Right. So then that's going to be 6 weeks from the original time frame that was put forward. Right.
Yes.
So let us watch and see.
So this is our second
3 weeks or 2 months maximum.
Yeah.
Good night, caller.
Hey, B from Blackie, Job Blackie.
Blessed.
Hey, listen to your clip not too long. When me gather from him, I hear you say hope, right?
Oh, okay, all right.
I hear a lot of hope.
So then that means that you can hold him to the timeline.
Exactly, because he run away from the real point when they gonna get that sanction come off of that board. That's the biggest thing right now. And I mean, personal believe that. That's just my belief. I want me to see it take place with the war that takes place with Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine want money, okay? And it's all about they want help. And you be Congress up, they can take sanction after the boat for somebody to sell that boat, the yacht.
Well, we'll have to watch and see.
Yeah.
We just have to wait and watch and see. But it's a lot of hope. And you can't hold him to it because hope can be 2 years.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
But Carla,
Yeah, man.
the ambassador would have told us
Because
that,
it not to cut across.
Yeah.
It can happen that everything will be sorted in a week also. So keep that in mind, right?
yes.
Go ahead.
But the ambassador would have told us that the procedure is being ongoing with the help of the United States and other entities, and so that's why Beef said to you, you only can believe what they say to you, my brother.
Well, we just watch the process where you go through.
Yeah, man.
And then we can take
I
it
can
from
make
how we
judgment
get
after that.
until July.
Yeah, I can't make any judgment after that.
After July, we will see. Okay? Take
All right.
care, my brother.
All right, man, take care. Yes, the Blackie. That's what I wanted,
Yeah, man.
for us to listen, because I listen to a lot of the trigger words in them. That's what they taught us when we were taking statements. You know what I mean?
Yes, I am.
We listen to the trigger word. Listen for the trigger words, and I heard them. I'm thinking in my mind, if America. You know, I wonder if Mr. Gums to listen. Maybe Gums can call out and tell her. You know, Mr. Gums from down at the port. That the
Don't
name.
call in ready for the night. Yeah,
Gums call already?
Yeah, man.
Gums call tonight?
Yeah, man, he don't call in, man.
Okay, I didn't pick up the voice.
Okay, go ahead.
You checked me off course. I didn't even realize that. I was just saying, I'm gonna get back my thoughts together. Tell my son like one on chairman. May get my thoughts together. Where the hell?
I may not even gone half guard, but such is that.
Yes. Oh, no, remember what I was saying. I'm just thinking in my mind. I'm a novice. I mean, I really be an expert on these things, so that's why I said I would yield to what people like Gums and so would say. But even America have a register with these different sanctions assets that are the sanctions that they can do the business, and America is satisfied that this yacht or this vessel should be desanctioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
And America does that. A 3 weeks it take for the other registries around the world update.
Well, it appears so. You know.
So then other places then they use computer, have to send on telex. I send a mail out, and then they will action the mail and so.
I put on pan a pigeon. You laugh.
No, we doesn't want it to himself.
Yes, I am. But yeah, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, these are the things that we have to be hearing. And some people believe that, you know, only they are the ones that are brilliant. And you can't say put one on one and know that what them they tell you are just pure mama guy and so.
Well, so far, when they said 3 weeks, we said we were going to wait. We waited, and time showed us what it was.
Yes.
But next 3 weeks, we'll wait.
But we are hearing some more, you know, if you're one that really wants to see the vessel sold and Antigua being the beneficiary. We have heard some interesting things tonight from the good ambassador.
Yes. I heard a conversation again today, and when they put certain things that I heard along with this, we'll just watch and see. We'll just watch and see. Let me not want to talk. I'm gonna have the recording never play. You know? Wow. Good night, caller.
Good night.
Hi.
One thing we don't hear the PM say in the PM school, right, is in the PM school days. One turtle can't get the head, if you push your head out. You can keep your head inside and avoid all the danger outside. But in order for you move forward, you have to push your head out. I'm going to see the PM just push your head out all the time. Even if danger out, they forget the head. So I have some confidence in the PM boss. I'm going to see that throughout your whole life, I'm going to see you successful. I will never forget them days in the PM school.
The Prime Minister.
Hold
on there, caller. You heard me play a clip with the Prime Minister. I heard me play a clip with Ron Sanders.
No, I didn't hear you play the clip.
So what you tell me? So what you tell me about the Prime Minister then?
Me just tell you. Let's have to push your head.
Oh come on, thanks. Hey, thanks for telling me. Cause me know you come and introduce the Prime Minister discussion to me. And I wrap up me up here nothing now.
Yes, King.
If he not listen, right? You hear me play a clip with Sir Ranson. And Sir Ranson, do you have there? Where you come and tell me about Prime Minister?
You want to discuss them?
I tie them, want to tie up, you know what I mean? Want to get your sidetrack and have his name and all this.
Yeah.
If me have anything to say to the Prime Minister, well, maybe they didn't listen earlier.
You see them kind of people, you know, when we listen to them, then so right, then call in, then sound good. And then in the end, they say, hey, look, you can help me with this, please, boy. Look. Yeah.
Oh, is that one of them?
Yeah, so them they move, man. That's so them.
Okay, alright. Let me understand. Anyway, let me just move on. Latest one, Liat King. What are you hearing?
Liat. Well, what I've been hearing is not so encouraging at all, because I've been hearing that the same names that I've been calling up with the Antigua Airways have been.
Okay, no, come on, me no way to say. Yeah. No, come on, do it like that.
That's the one me here.
Maybe we shouldn't say. No, maybe we should say for Liat 1974 Limited.
Oh, okay, well, me
because what you say, Liat 2020.
Yeah.
Right, so Liat 1974 Limited
first.
Then
they want to dissolve that and get rid of that. It doesn't sound like it will be of use anymore. Sounds like Liat 1974 Limited will be one of the past.
Well, I want to say again, to go on the record again, I agree with the government when the government says that they have no legal obligation to settle 100% of the severance for the workers at Liat.
And I yield to you.
I agree with them with that. That is the law. And I keep saying, and I will continue to say, unions and other interest groups, what they're supposed to be doing is to advocate now. They should have been doing it long before, but to advocate that the government so put those laws on the books to protect severance. And that's why I said last week that I was impressed with the union, the UPP and the union, where the UPP said they were in discussion with the union to fashion a bill to bring to Parliament to protect severance.
Yes.
Right? And I even said last week, and I'll say it again, so that they hear. When it comes to things like that, the UPP now seems more Labour than Labour, because I would have expected that. Those kind of protections.
Because the
from Labour
UPP is aware of what is really needed in this country.
You know? So I'm gonna go on record. I agree with the Prime Minister, what the Prime Minister said. Initially, I think it was St. Lucia. Well, St. Lucia was not part of the major shareholders, but St. Lucia paid off their workers on there. And then Barbados took a position that they were going to pay their workers. I'm not sure if they limited the payments to Bajan or Liat workers who were working in Barbados.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I think I heard one time they might have limited it to Bajans or not. But they took that position, and they were, I think, 52% percent shareholders. I think I heard.
Yes, that's what they were offering.
Right. No, they were offering
32 or 30.
No, I'm talking about Barbados. I think Barbados initially said that they were going to pay 75,000 in cash, and then the difference to make up the 100% for those workers, they would have given in bonds and some different things.
So they're awarding 100%?
Yes.
Wow.
But they only awarded 100% for their workers, which is, in terms of numbers, is a small number.
Yes.
Antigua now, who have 32%, which is the second highest, would have a greater number of people working for it. When under normal circumstances, all things being equal, is that who have the most shares pay the most money.
Supposed to.
Right? But it look like Mayor Motley pull a fast one.
Some words for the introduce.
What?
You go ahead.
Right? He likes to pull a fast one. So, you know what? Do I have it here? I think I have what she said now. But that led to, after Barbados announced what they announced, that led to our government, our Prime Minister saying this.
The Antigua and Barbuda government could be reconsidering the way it deals with the compassionate payment offer to former layout workers, following remarks by Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Mottley said her government has no legal obligation to settle the debt to former layout workers in Barbados, and her offer was simply one of compassion. Prime Minister Brown says Barbados' position could have implications for other former shareholder governments. The last offer on the table from the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party is a 32% severance to former layout workers.
I find it amazing that the majority shareholder has capped its liability at $75,000, and it has limited its liability to Barbadians only, and not one person has frowned against that. So maybe Barbados has now set a new paradigm for us to consider, because if the majority shareholder has taken that position and that there is no resistance, maybe if we were to adopt that position, that it will probably eliminate all the rhetoric that we have heard over the years, even though we would have issued a superior offer. Majority shareholder, because based on the rationale of the unions, they're saying that the shareholder government should pay the severance. The 52% shareholder capped their liability, and they also said to, which is our position, that there's no legal liability, or let's say they capped their compassionate payment, the ex gratia payment at $75,000. So I'm saying that they have now established a new paradigm, which my administration will now have to give consideration to.
Right, so that was on the 23rd of April, now on the 12th of May, yesterday.
The government has revised its compassionate offer to former layout workers down to 32%. Well, more on this story because confirmation comes from Prime Minister and Finance Minister Honorable Gaston Brown, who reaffirms the government has no legal obligation in this matter. He's also resolute that the administration will not entertain any unreasonable demands from the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union. Discussions surrounding the government's compassionate offer to former layout workers have often been fraught with several claims and counterclaims. Prime Minister Honorable Gaston Brown insists the government's revised offer to the workers is in line with the shareholding it held in the carrier.
We take no responsibility for the delays. We have placed an offer on the table. Initially it was at 50%. We have since reduced it to 32% in keeping with our shareholding. However, we have maintained our position that we have no legal liability to the staff of LIAT, that it will be a compassionate payment to the staff of LIAT, a gratuitous payment, and as soon as the union is ready to accept, then we can have further discussions.
We asked the Prime Minister whether the 32% would be comprised of a cash-only payment.
We are open. And at 32%, it will be challenging, but a little more manageable. And if they insist that they want all cash, maybe we may not be able to pay the full amount up front. We could pay it over a period of time. So we're open to negotiations in terms of how we settle the 32%. And let me make the point here too that in as much as we would have extended the option of cash, bonds and land before, we never stated in what combination. We said to them that we're open to negotiations with the union to determine what percentage of cash, what amount of land, or if they said cash and bonds only, fine. Or if they said cash and land only, we said to them that we're flexible.
Prime Minister Brown says even this reduced compassionate offer amounts to more than what Barbados will be paying out, though the government in Bridgetown held more than 50% of the stake in the airline. The head of government also questions why the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union, the ABWU, has contrasting responses to similar comments from his government and the Mia Mottley administration that there is no legal obligation to the former LIAT workers.
I find it quite astonishing that the Antigua Workers Union has not said anything about that statement coming from the government of Barbados, which control up to 52% of the shares of LIAT. But on the other hand, they continue to make a lot of noise, and I emphasize the word noise, in the domestic space to suggest that the Antigua government, as a 32% shareholder, should cover 100% of the severance payment.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has this message for the union.
If they wish to meet with us on the different circumstances in which we can discuss a 32% settlement, we are able to meet. If they're not willing to do so and they continue to make their unreasonable demands, then evidently we'll not entertain them.
So massive ABS News exclusive, as we said, the offer from the government for compassionate payment to former LIAT workers down to 32% in line with the shareholding that the government had in the carrier. Now we expect to have a response from the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union, the ABWU, which represents the former employees. We expect that in coming days.
Yeah, so that's the official position now. I personally believe that well, let me not put it that way. Let me put it this way. If I had it to do, if I was advising the workers, I would have advised them to take the 50% package that was being offered, proposal was being offered. The government have since reduced that 50% now down to 32%. As a reaction to what Barbados would have done.
Well, some those individuals who would have taken the offer in the first stage would have capitalized.
I agree.
Because, you know, it was out there for some time. I myself would have heard the Prime Minister saying to them that they're not going to be offering this all the time, and if they don't capitalize now, things may change. And you see, it has changed. I yield to your expertise with our conversation from last week, when you would have said that this is your position and you are, in your perspective, you would advise them to accept. So I'm going to just leave it right there, and I agree with you on that because, again, you're an expert on that topic.
You know, use this expert, just even know.
Well, me, I gotta say that. You ready for the word on them?
Go to.
A spur of the moment. Well, on a word, I just some
phrase.
Some phrases that have been thrown around now.
Spur of the moment.
Yes, spur of the moment. It's not me. It wasn't me. It wasn't my signature.
It wasn't my signature.
Yeah. We've been duped.
We've been duped.
What's the other one?
Spur of the moment. Yes. Not my signature. We have been duped.
There's another one, but it will come.
What happened to these words?
Well, these words have been used quite often now by those in authorities. So I'm saying that these words, these statements, or these slangs aren't really just to be used willy-nilly, and if you've been.
But why you believe that they're being used willy-nilly?
No, well, they're being used so often now that I don't believe that these things are just a coincidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I believe the last time I switched over to Blackie, I made drink my coke upon
drink your juice, man.
I don't want to drink my juice like that. Now I can wet my throat from time to time, but when do certain things.
That it does know. Even if you drink my juice, me drink my juice.
Yeah, no, you're not supposed to do certain things on camera.
If me drink my juice, man.
You have to take a break?
Yeah, but these slangs that are being used nowadays is just to me like an excuse.
Is it well, I hear you. But I don't know if it's just an excuse or it's just that people are not conscious of what should happen. I suspect that when you say the first one you use,
Spur of the
Spur
moment.
of the moment. I don't know if you're referring to the situation with the lady Bassett.
Yes.
I'm not even going to get into that. But that is an example, in my opinion, of, somebody just dropped the ball. I don't understand how that happened, but never mean as smart as, you know what I mean, so.
You can't use a term for all of them.
What?
Somebody dropped the ball.
But I know what context may use the one with the check.
It wasn't. Okay.
So that's why I can't say yes, Okay. But on that particular one there.
What about the dupe?
That we've been duped. We can't say somebody dropped the ball. If you've been duped, you've been duped. Somebody fool you. If you want to extrapolate, if you say, okay, drop the ball so you get fooled, okay, we not going to argue that. But that's the whole me see the party. You know what I mean? If you get duped, you don't get fooled.
Yes, I.
I guess I can say anybody can get fooled. I don't know.
Anybody can get fooled, man.
You know?
You can't get fooled so easy now.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, Jablaki. And as I was saying earlier, I was saying earlier that. Okay, I just wanted to see that. Yes. When you take everything together, you know what I mean. I'm not liking the picture that I'm seeing.
Right.
When you take everything together.
Yeah, man.
But that's just me. We come here, we have a discussion, we discuss with the wider listenership, and people draw their own conclusions. You know what I mean?
Naturally.
People draw their own conclusions. We try to come here and disseminate factual information, and people make their decision one way or the next.
Bless it.
But to me, it has to happen now.
Well,
I don't think that we're at the stage that we could be waiting for nothing. It has happened.
You see all the people and them, their mommy and them daddy born, yeah?
We call them indigenous Antiguans.
Well, they need for open their eye and realize a war go on and top make them people with the half daddy and half mommy have all this around you.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah. Big up yourself, Mr. Knight.
Sometimes you just get pushed into a corner that you have to, know.
Yeah, well,
Right,
me want to know if then I get pushed in a corner hard enough, far enough.
But maybe not.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
But 99% of the time, once you find yourself in the corner, you have a fight, you can fight come up.
Well, me tell you about that, man. Me tell you, man.
In the meantime, we just got to keep focus and seek to get the best future that we can get for our generation that's coming.
Well, that's all me fight for now, cause me feel that for me time done now. So, me have 3 girls, me not have no son. So them they who me fight for.
So you know, me not have none tall.
Well, you a play with me, you have none tall.
No, me not children.
Well, let me tell the people, all them chores that you carry me upon and show me that you do for other people, you're just like a father for others.
No, what that?
So you need for have none no maternally. So you feel that if you never have one with one girl, you know that you go take yourself out. No.
If you more wrong, pick me. What?
A tough one, King.
When me watch them man I get wrong, pick me how they go out. Me feel we can do that too.
Hey, look. Well, such is life.
Me feel them they can do me and I can do man.
Me hear you about that.
We the thing they hand on for me, man, you know.
Me hear you.
So if then they can do man, they're comfortable and everything.
Yeah, but you have been naturally in you for take care of people and deal with people.
Hey, Kigwan, let me get off. You were talking about the earpiece part of it, but as I wanted to say, as I was saying to you, I didn't want to mix up late 97 4 Limited with late 2020. I think that we are now going through, we as the nation is now going through the different channels to get things sorted out with that. And might have been last week or this week, the Foreign Affairs Minister, I believe, was the one who spearheaded a group going to Nigeria, I believe.
Yes.
In relation to that. Where is it? Here we go.
The arrangements between the government and the Nigerian airline Air Peace are nearing completion and are likely to be inked shortly. Following a trip to Nigeria by a team headed by Foreign Affairs Minister E.P. Chet Green and including the Development Commissioner and Ambassador Davin Joseph, both sides agreed that Air Peace will own 70% of LIAT 2020. The Antigua and Barbuda government will be a minority owner, with the airline headquartered in St. John's. Air Peace will take responsibility for the management of LIAT 2020 and will invest a significant sum of money into the airline. The Nigerian airline is the largest in that country, Africa's most populous nation, with over 200 million people. Negotiations between the parties continue as the Gaston Brown administration seeks to find new partners to turn LIAT into a profitable entity that also provides connectivity to the Eastern Caribbean island countries and people. The absence of a full-service LIAT has caused travel throughout the region to be erratic and insufficient. LIAT, the cabinet notes indicated, is sorely missed, and every effort is being made by Antigua and Barbuda to allow LIAT to fulfill its mission of keeping the Caribbean peoples connected.
Yes, so that's the latest I would have heard on that, the Blackie.
70%. What do you think about that?
70%. Well, I guess they invest in whatever the money that give them that percentage is.
But what I would have gained from listening to that tip there is that we're not going to be in any different position if we enter into a partnership such as that, because
when is we're not going to be into a different? I don't understand the part.
How much percent does Antigua presently own in LIAT?
32.
How much does Barbados owns?
52.
And how much does St. Vincent and Dominica owns?
I think it's 20 something. One is 20 something, one is 14 or something like that.
Okay, so Antigua position is very much similar to what it's going to be when LIAT would have entered 2020's arrangement.
All right.
Meaning,
go ahead, sorry.
Meaning that we have 30% and the other shareholders would have 70%. And to me, it poses a problem, because what if there are difficulties down the line again with Sir Marvelous Mike, and he would have...
No, Marvelous Mike own Air Peace? I don't think so. Marvelous Mike is Antigua Airways.
Antigua Airways.
Right.
Okay, with
so
Air
this
Peace,
is Air Peace, right?
The management of Air Peace, what if they would have want to withhold some sort of, monies or whatever it is that they're not comfortable with spending because of negotiations, and LIAT find themselves back in the same situation?
Well, if LIAT find themselves in the same situation, the rules being the same, you can expect the same results.
But to me, that's just madness.
Who knows? Maybe when LIAT 2020 come on stream, by the time the LIAT 2020 come on stream, there might be laws on the book that have employers protect the employee severance. So LIAT 2020 will have to do such.
You don't believe that law they ever pass?
You don't believe so?
No.
Okay, well, me not gonna say so yet.
Maybe after our generation.
Well, let's see.
You tell me they're into important things there and people just overlook these things day after day, man.
Let's see. But the majority shareholder is going to be who invests the most money, right? We have our challenges. I guess the government is saying that, well, look, you want to have some skin in the game. The headquarters is going to be here in Antigua. If I heard it correctly, the headquarters is going to be here in Antigua.
Yeah.
And then the ferry road from there.
You feel like I got any more incident like what I have now with the African business?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So if I have something like that again down the line, what am I supposed to do?
No, I'm going to tell you why I don't think so. From what they would have said, from what I'm hearing, when you operate on a charter service, the scrutiny is not as intense as when you're not. So LIAT will not, the operation will not be on a charter service like that.
Yes.
Right? So the different regional bodies that have to satisfy certain things and check in passengers before they come, etc., 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 those will be in place. Those should be in place. So I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I agree.
I don't think so. What I believe personally is that, you know, we would have had discussions with people in Nigeria and encourage them to invest in later 2020. I don't know if it's going to be a CIP program type thing where people get their passports and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. As more information come out, we'll hear. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. What I was a little bit surprised about, because somebody had told me, I didn't hear Lennox Western name called. I heard Chet and Taven.
As it relates to the...
To Liat. I thought I heard that Western had something to do with Liat.
Oh.
But maybe the person who told me, you know, was off base.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe somebody told me that.
Maybe.
So, being the brainiac that Lennox is, I thought he would have been in those discussions. But I tried calling the person to verify certain things. I didn't really get the person today, you know. So, but it's something I'll continue to try.
I kind of waterfall around the place, you know. So
kind of what?
I mean, you know, I kind of waterfall, man.
Lennox?
Then I come back and bring them back.
Oh.
All kind of something, you know.
As I keep telling people who I speak with, we're going through a change now. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're gonna say, hey, well, that's what it changed. But we're going through a change now. The country is changing. Parties are changing. Both major parties are changing. DNA and kind of people they gonna go. In my opinion, DNS are gonna go. In my opinion,
yeah. I should take them this serious, man.
So we're changing, and depending on what happened during this period, the new Antigua will come forth. What that new Antigua...
Remember last word?
I don't know.
When last year found the leader of the DNA?
I haven't heard nothing from Mr. Masai in a while.
On any topic?
I think they have a show.
On any topic?
Well, let me not say, I personally haven't heard it, but I think that DNA has a show on ZDK on Saturdays. But I haven't really looked at it, so I don't know if she has been on the program. I really can't say.
She not on the program.
But I haven't heard
them one or two times
in the news or nothing like that.
I'm tell you, know. So how people look on them?
Well, people look on them as well. See the last election we go. Maybe they might have a better showing in future elections, but is the election is what tell the tale for everything.
Yeah, but and costs and detriments and all, in my opinion, brother.
Well, that's democracy.
Moving ahead.
That's democracy. That's democracy. And as one general say all the time, even when it hurts, it's still democracy.
You know, sometimes also, you can see when somebody has ego, because they will say something that on broad brush and cover 90% of the people, but them they have one little, you know, special case where they feel that the bush not touch. Let me tell you half you what talk about. Yeah.
Just before I go to, what time is it? 10:54. Just before I go to the second break. Earlier you touched on in relation to the election, and when we were talking about the transferring and so.
Yes.
You spoke about there might be an investigation in two constituencies.
Yes.
And I know you heard the same thing that I heard.
Yes.
Where the Prime Minister said that initially, let me reverse to use the Rasta term. Initially, when the situation coming out of the statement that the Prime Minister made, coming out of the public backlash, and people asking and saying certain things about the party and so, then we heard about a situation in St. Peter.
Yes.
And then the Prime Minister, I believe it was the Prime Minister who said that they would have an investigation into St. Peter, and then the discussion shifted to Wade. And I myself made a comment on an article. I didn't know that this was the government who deals with investigation in relation to
these
elections.
Matters, yes.
And today now we heard that the Prime Minister said that basically the information having been put in the public
domain, yes,
that they would have written to, I'm not sure if it's him as minister or party leader or the Labour Party, but they have written to the Electoral Commission about in relation to investigation.
Yes.
Well, we're just hearing that today for the first time, publicly anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't know whether or not the Electoral Commission is so minded. So we'll have to wait and see. But the point I was making earlier to the gentleman who had called in relation to what the Prime Minister said, I explained what I believe the effect was, right?
Yes.
Of his statement. And as I would have said before, what we want to be doing in Antigua is to make sure that the electoral process is as such that we can reasonably say when we have an election, regardless to what the outcome is, who win or who lose, that we would have had a free and fair election.
Yes.
And to me personally, that's the integrity of the process needs to be protected.
I remember.
Right? So, we would have heard what the Prime Minister say. I was listening to a program and I heard a recording with Mr. Luther Lee. Right?
Yes.
And part of that recording struck me in a way. I'm going to play it. I have shared it with a senior person in the commission. And I'm saying senior, not necessarily in terms of age, but in position held.
I remember.
Right? I've shared it with a person. I know the person listened to it, but I didn't get a feedback. And in light of when I heard things being in the public domain, so that might be grounds upon which the Electoral Commission could move.
Yes. I
said I was going to play it. I isolated it and I said I was going to play it. And I'm going to officially write and send it to the Commission that since I might have elections come and look and everything, because to me, as I said, it's the integrity of the process that's important.
Yeah, man.
Let's listen together.
You know that the cry was that the Africans were coming in to vote.
Yeah.
King, what do you think they were saying that?
Because they had intentions of bringing in people too.
Not had intentions.
And they brought in people.
That register overseas, they never come, you can register. They get that in the system. Ah, now I'm trying to him. Come in here, turn the line up. Truth me out now. People, don't get me wrong, I advocate, I'm a Donald Harrison man, and we advocate people could even vote proxy. But the last thing, you have to live here for 1 month before you can get registered. And guess what? You know, women have come and voted in the elections.
Yes, I do.
Huh? Okay? Yeah, man. Can you know how many women came and voted in the elections? That's when they start, when you see African come and say, the man had a plan to come when they were going to bring and team, bring African to vote. Can you know they win?
Right.
Can you play no and come now? That never come and register and get in our system now. Every king.
I'll play it again.
Can't understand what you say really, so you got to block on and give me the
You know that the cry was that the Africans were coming in to vote.
Yeah.
The cry was when the Africans were coming in that they were going to come vote.
Yeah.
King, what do you think they were saying that?
Because they had intentions.
Why do you think they were saying that?
Of bringing in people too.
Not had intentions.
Not have intentions. Kimber said that they have intentions of, you know.
Yeah.
But he said not have intentions.
That register overseas, they never come, you can register.
They have people overseas that register. Then they come here can register. Then they come on the island can register.
Get that in the system. Ah, now check the king.
And they get in the system. I'll have to check that. Now, if that is true.
Wow.
If that is true.
That's voluminous, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, King.
If that is true. I don't know whether it's true, yes or no. But since I'll investigate, come investigate.
Well, you love to tell me. You can only believe what I tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have no reason not to believe it.
Right.
The investigation will say whether he's right or wrong.
Bless it.
That's what I'm saying. When I heard that, I said to myself.
But he a member of the Electoral Commission?
No, I don't think so.
But he has some big information.
He's a
What he say, boy?
Hey, hold on.
Now turn the line up. Truth me out now. People.
But now turn the line up. Truth me talk.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I advocate, I'm a Donald Harrison man, and we advocate people could even vote proxy. But the last thing, you have to live here for 1 month.
The last thing, you have to live here for 1 month.
Before you can get registered. And guess what? You know, women have come and voted in the elections.
Yes, I do.
Huh? Okay? Yeah, man. Can you know how many women came and voted in the elections? That's when they start, when you see African come and say, the man had a plan.
You know how much they have come here and vote election? That's why when they see Africans, they start to say, we can only assume that them are UPP.
No, when I'm bringing and thing, real African football. Can you know what I'm doing? Right. Can you play no and come now? That never come and register and get in our system now. No, play no when I'm bringing and thing, real African football.
Play no and come. That never come and register now and get in our system.
You have some questions for answer, man. Can't be so easy.
So, because as we tell them, so they don't see the person in the electoral commission, but none of listen to it, then send it to me. I'm going to do it officially.
Not even a response again?
No.
Wow.
Because if I will go have an investigation now, but they should investigate all this Sunday, because I wouldn't really want to know, and I wouldn't be satisfied that the persons on the different electoral lists who would have come here, who would not have come here, they would not have fulfilled the requirement to register, but they're on the list.
Boss, you know the procedure we forget one and carry.
Me no.
You know them they take your own picture, so you know them they take your picture.
Me no.
You can't go and a picture place and take no picture and sign up there now.
All over me say, Jablaki.
Yeah.
As far as me concerned, right? If the system, because to me, I would want to believe that the person is stating for a fact that there's some level of compromise at the electoral commission level.
Boy, people not talk so willy-nilly so king, unless you not have some insight in the talk so.
Well, if I have an investigation, come investigate. Because to me, at the end of any investigation, all investigations, the integrity of the process is the most important thing. We cannot be like Dominica. Every time I come, I say so. I'll pass the stage a long time.
Dominica been hailed like...
I can't go back to that.
Dominica get high praises round, you know.
What high praise? Round way. Round your way.
You know, hear them talk about Dominica and say...
Round your way. Round your way.
What a joke it is.
Wait, where you be?
Me hear some of them talk about Dominica.
Round Zedige?
No.
Wrong way.
Me talk about round in Antigua.
In relation to elections?
Well, in elections and leadership.
Give me a break. Time in studio is 3 minutes after 11 p.m. We will be right back. Stay tuned. Just give me a break, Jablaki.
Let's say we're friends birds of a feather.
That's the birds of a feather flock together.
Right. So
but burning, no.
No, and a bird.
As a Sean bird come to.
No. And a bird may talk. Big up Sean every time. All of me try to say. Then they say by your enemies.
No, by a friend.
Yeah, by a friend you shall be known, right?
But can anybody, there's no people in the judgment by someone from a friend?
While kneeling by her bedside in the cottage on the hill, my mother prayed her blessing on me there. She was talking then to Jesus while everything was still, and I heard my mother call my name in prayer. I heard my mother call my name in prayer. She was pouring out her heart to Jesus there, and I gave my heart to him.
Hey, this is a true story, Jablaki.
For he heard my mother call my name in prayer. She was anxious for her boy to be just what he ought to be, and she asked the Lord to take him in his care. Now just the words I can't remember, but I know she prayed for me, for I heard my mother call my name in prayer. I heard my mother call my name in prayer. She was pouring out her heart to Jesus there.
Elaine and Dad's Joseph Consultancy. We consult on labor relation matters, insurance, business matters, and politics. P.O. Box 2287, Francis Lane, Yorks Village, St. John's, Antigua, Barbuda. Our email address is elaineanddadsjoseph@gmail.com. Telephone numbers 776-0200 or 464-4201. Contact us. We are here for you.
Studios located in the capital city of St. John's, Antigua in the Caribbean Sea.
Okay, stop that!
And our transmitter located at the highest point, Buggy Peak in the parish of St. Mary. This is ZDK Liberty Radio International, 97.1 FM, the People's Radio Station.
When I was a little child, how well I recollect how I would grieve my mother with my folly and neglect. But now that she is gone to heaven, I miss her tender care. Oh, angel, tell my mother I'll be there. Tell mother I'll be there in answer to her prayer. This message, guardian angel, to her bed. Oh, tell mother I'll be there. Heaven's joy to her will share. Oh, tell my darling mother I'll be there. When I became a prodigal and left the old roof tree,
Yes, welcome back.
it almost
Hey, to Real Talk, right here on ZDK, Liberty Radio 97.1.
and day and night she
Hey, the time in studio,
took
9 minutes after the 11 p.m. hour.
Oh, angel, tell my mother I'll be there. Ooh, tell her I'll be there in answer to a prayer. This message, guardian angel, to her bed. Oh, tell my mother I'll be there. Heaven's joy to her will share. Oh, angel, tell my mother, yeah. When I was but a little child, how well I recollect how I would grieve my mother with my folly and neglect. But now that she is gone to heaven, I miss her tender care. Oh, angel, tell my mother I'll be there. Tell mother I'll be there in answer to her prayer. This message, guardian angel, to her bed. Oh, tell mother I'll be there. Heaven's joy to her will share. Oh, tell my darling mother I'll be there. When I became a prodigal and left the old roof tree, it almost broke my mother's heart in morning after me, and day and night she prayed to God to keep me in his care. Oh, angel, tell my mother I'll be there. Ooh, tell her I'll be there in answer to a prayer. This message, guardian angel, to her prayer. Oh, tell my mother I'll be there. Heaven's joy to share. Oh, angel, tell my mother, yeah, tell my mother I'll be there. Oh, in answer to a prayer. This message, guardian angel, to her prayer. Tell her I'll be there. Heaven's joy to her will share. Oh, tell my darling mother, I'll be there.
Yes, the sounds of Marion Williams. Tell mother I'll be there. Favorite of mine. Yeah, got one or two WhatsApp. As to the emotional side of it, I understand, but you know, that's how life goes. You know what I mean? That's how life goes. Just let us continue to live our life in a way that would make our mothers and our fathers, but our mothers, proud. The time now in studio is 14 minutes after the 11 p.m. hour, and Jablaki would have just stepped out for a few minutes. He'll be back. When he gets back, I think I want to just touch on the latest on the Antigua Airways the Africans who came here via, well, I don't know if it's Antigua Airways or what's the name? The High Fly, I think that's the name of the flight that they say, or the plane that they say came in under the guise of Antigua Airways. We haven't heard, hey, you're back. We haven't heard nothing in relation to the latest on that. I know the opposition, they had a what do you call it, a signature campaign, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
With a petition,
yes,
to present to the Prime Minister. I haven't heard nothing more with that recently. We know that the order was gazetted in relation to thank you very much, High Fly, right. The Africans being able to work. They needed to be registered, but they were not paying any hey, talking about us, we're talking about that. I didn't even hear no fanfare come the 1st of May in relation to CARICOM brothers and sisters, Santo Domingo people not paying any more work permit.
I deliberately never said anything about that, you know, just to see if it would come up. I was going to give it one more week.
Okay.
Before I said anything about
yeah,
it.
Yeah, because it was be Labor Day.
Yes.
The 1st of May. Today's what? 4th? Today's what? 13th.
So it's in effect then.
It would appear so. Mm-hmm. I must ask a question next week on it. I was saying to somebody, me and somebody was having a discussion, and I was saying to them, you know, this whole African situation, the countries, the Caribbean countries that it is affecting, I think we've heard Guadeloupe called us, St. Martin, French St. Martin, Guadeloupe.
The dead bodies?
Yes. Well, not necessarily dead bodies, but Africans who would have tried to enter them from supposedly our shores.
Have you heard of dead bodies washing up in other territories?
I think St. Martin, I heard that recently.
Okay.
So that's the discussion that we were having.
Yes.
And, you know, they had St. then they had French St. Martin, and then I think they said they found a body on a boat somewhere just off Puerto Rico.
Yes, I heard Puerto Rico mentioned.
Right, and now Dutch St. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking somebody today if anybody have touched base with the the immigration chief to find out how much of these people know that they can account for. The person was telling me that there was no information commissioner in place. I didn't even realize that.
It would be nice to know the condition of those bodies as well, to know if to get a grasp of if it's a recent,
okay. In those in
mishap.
Dutch St. Martin.
Yes.
Or if they might have been from
the
the first coming out in St. Kitts.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe our authorities maybe made an inquiry. I don't know. But that is one of the weak points in the media in Antigua. I can't see how there's not a network where if there's an issue in St. Kitts, if there's an issue anywhere that media houses can pick up and get in touch with their counterparts in
when you were
places.
speaking about Barbados and Mia Motley, I wanted to ask you this question, do these leaders actually speak to one another and so on? Because whenever there's a problem, we can see clearly that they don't correspond well.
Well, they're supposed to talk to one another. That's why you have these heads of government meeting and blah, blah, blah. But I'm getting the impression now that relationships are strained. Let me be more specific. Our Prime Minister and the relationship with other Caribbean countries might be strained. I say might because we hear different things. But if you go back to the whole situation with Liat, right? Basically, I can remember the Prime Minister saying that even when he wanted to get certain things on the agenda to be discussed, that was an issue. Basically, I would say that he was hoodwinked. Now, what word do you use? Do you use a word? I'm not hoodwinked.
No.
What word do we get? You'll come back to me just now. By those two leaders. Those two leaders being Ralph Gonzalez and Mia Motley. In my opinion, Barbados making the decision that hey, we're only going to look after our people in relation to Liat, forced our government hands in terms of to bring their proposal now to the extent of their shareholding.
So what do you think about that decision that Barbados made?
I think it's a gangster move.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a gangster move.
And
I can't see. Well, I normally put myself in position with that, right? That kind of thing. I can't see how they could be treating me so many of my friends.
Oh, Barbados, I'm afraid. That don't mean I understand now. You see, when them people are ready for make a decision, then they care about outside people now. Antigua the only country that do that now.
I ain't believe for a reason.
Then I care about inside people and I care about outside people.
I ain't believe for a reason.
Me don't know everything, man.
Okay. But tell me something there, no.
Do.
Anyway.
Do.
Word. That is the word. Okay, right. You look as if we're duped again. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you very much, my friend there. So, I mean, oh boy, what am I going to say? Again, look at St. Kitts.
You need to check your lines, because you look like you're missing.
Oh, sorry about that. Call me back, caller. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the phone just now. We would have heard, well, I would have heard the gentleman there, Astafan, where he spoke about what happens in Antigua has a ricocheting effect, if you want to call it that, going down the line. And we would have seen what happened in St. Kitts.
Of course.
The last thing we heard from the St. Kitts Prime Minister was that, and that was on Labor Day.
Yes.
I played a clip where he said that he wasn't going to say certain things. He was having an interview.
Yes.
Until he would have spoken to our Prime Minister. I would believe that he would have spoken by now.
So?
Yeah, man. Well, I believe that. Huh?
Nothing.
No, maybe in private conversation I want to allow them.
Cool.
Maybe the Africans and them are a private issue.
Cool.
You know, for the thing. But on the last thing I heard coming out of St. Kitts, I did read the article, I think on Loop, but I think the same body, the UN body that was here in Antigua, I think that they're in St. Kitts, if I'm not mistaken. Let me come with this one. Boom.
News out of St. Kitts and Nevis is that the United Nations is now involved in the case of the 14 Cameroonians currently in detention there after they were rescued at sea in March when the vessel they were on capsized and sank during an illegal journey. The Federation's Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, said United Nations officials are expected to assess the 14 and and present that report to officials outlining the way forward. He related that he visited the Cameroonians out of curiosity, wanting to know who they are and why they are there. Dr. Terence Drew described the Cameroonians as well-educated people, noting, in addition to being bilingual, French and English speakers, among the 14 are teachers, lawyers, business people, and information technology specialists. According to the St. Kitts and Nevis head of government, the United Nations is now involved and they are going to start their own assessment, and from their assessment, following which they will present a report to the government. Based on its contents, Dr. Terence Drew stated final action will be taken. In relation to the 3 bodies that were retrieved from the sea, the Prime Minister revealed they have asked the United Nations to determine if there are relatives of the deceased residing in the United States, with the aim of determining their religion. If they remain unclaimed, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, he noted they will be buried with the greatest of respect and in accordance with the religion they practice, but that will take place once the UN completes its assessment.
All right, so that's the latest. That was from when, boy? That was from, I think maybe yesterday. It wouldn't be today. Today is Saturday. So, well, yeah, just a few minutes ago to Sunday. Yeah, it was yesterday. That was my friend Phil George from down at Point FM, telling us what's happening in the latest in St. Kitts. Did after the interim report was given in Antigua, was a final report given? You heard anything about it?
I haven't heard any final report.
I wonder what's the latest with that, because coming out of the final report, I think a determination was supposed to be made. Well, so, you know, maybe we should get in touch with Nikki and ask Nikki, because I'm sure Nikki's following that. Nikki Phoenix?
Yes.
I didn't really get to listen to her much Thursday, I don't know the song.
Yes.
And I haven't reached out to her, but I probably should reach out to her. I probably should reach out to her tomorrow.
Sounds fair enough.
Not tomorrow, Mother's Day, but not disturb she. She and her
Sure.
husband and her family, so might be, you know what I mean? Not disturb she, so.
Tomorrow, and different day, Mother's Day now in a pushy country now. She done.
Oh yeah, true. They're 5 hours ahead of us. So 4 o'clock there, so. Yeah, that's true. Well, Nikki, if you're listening, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you. But that's the latest coming out of St. Kitts.
Well, with the involvement of the UN, I must say that we will indeed get some clearer pictures, and because with the UN, these people seems to be, you know, clear in their work, and so they don't leave any stones unturned.
When Nikki was analyzing the report, the interim report, she had brought up some percentage that was given in relation to those who were sick and so. The other day somebody called me and was talking to me in relation to medical benefits. I don't know if you heard about it, but I was saying to the person I didn't hear nothing official from medical benefit, but it seems as if there's an issue with shortages of high blood pressure drugs and that kind of stuff. Have you heard anything about it?
Yes, I've even heard the complaint on the radio.
Oh, it was on the radio?
Yes, individuals are stating that they have to go.
No, I read something in the newspaper, well, a few days ago. I think it was, I'm not sure if there was a picture of Baptist, Hilton Baptist. I don't know if they were interviewing him or he made a statement or what. But on that article, I did comment that we need to hear something official from medical benefit. If there's an issue, the public should know.
I hear individuals calling in on the radio station stating that they have to be purchasing these things from private individuals. These medications and so on.
Medical benefit should put out some statement. Medical benefit should put out some statement.
Who is responsible for doing that in medical benefit?
Well, I guess they have a PR. Well, obviously, maybe the management or the board would come up with a statement and then the PR articulate it to the public. I would believe so.
Cool.
But somebody tell me that the board is not consummated as yet. Yeah, I understand that there's some legal issues in relation to the person who they want to be chairman, in terms of the ability to serve based on certain stipulations in the act. So, well, yes, in the act. So, I don't know if that's the impediment or what, but that is what I would have heard. Time in studio, wow, 27 minutes after the 11 p.m. hour. Yeah, I'm done. Some things are going. Me nah. Look, Antigua people take their love to it. But see something. Me nah read that in a Jabalaki. You read them?
Boy, look, where you be there, boy?
It look like me don't know. Okay, this is a space animal. Or a space being. Come and see this, the circle around the circle around the thing.
Yeah.
The circle on the left hand side here.
It's right.
Me not read that.
Me can read them, man.
Sean and them not get me no. Well, me not gonna say Sean and them, but whoever put it there something, then I get me no.
Me can read them. Gastonites, our leader has spoken. Labor rights, our leader has spoken.
No, you read it wrong.
Wait, let me put up my glasses, kid.
From what I see here, like you read it wrong.
Gastonites, our leader has spoken. Ignore the labor rights.
Hey, look. I be I want to read it something.
Hey, look. I work, we can work.
Oh, what the hell is that? A space the people that go from?
He looks a boy.
Is there also like an antenna on top of the head?
It's a chi people as
What the hell is that?
Yeah. You say, Gastonites, our leader has spoken. Ignore the labor.
Hey, me not get into that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the UPP is supposed to be having a leadership convention in June next month.
True?
You heard it? Yeah, I think I heard that. No. They're supposed to be having a leadership convention in June.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Well, Rennie Bradford, don't even know how that go. Maybe you can send no chance to Rennie Bradford. Maybe I should number. Maybe I should number.
No, me not your number.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the UPP is supposed to be having the convention for the leader in June. I don't remember the exact date, sometime in June. And I would have heard some people saying that them expect Bacchanal in the UPP convention.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard people say.
If you're in Bacchanal today.
Well, me no know. Me not today. So me have to read that listener here. You know? But I see some in the flyer around now. Some people send me some here. Labour Party now have a convention as far as me know.
What make?
What me know, me hear they said me on board on a convention.
No,
Recently. Yeah. But some things that the fly around, you see them things that the fly around there?
Go ahead, let me hear.
Me not read on them?
I mean to get them.
What do you mean to get them?
You get no.
Sean and send them to you? You not look my phone, man.
Yes, sir, boy. I'm look.
Me tell you not look my phone.
I'm look again.
You not look my phone, man, because if you look on the network, you can see them. But me not really reading something, me made them alone. But all of me say,
I mean afraid for read no.
Labour Party now have a convention.
Oh.
But does it look like a more confusion to me than anything else? Hey, look.
What you say?
The Blackie. Sean, I keep saying Sean, I don't want to say Sean because maybe it's not Sean. But whoever put it in somewhere, me not reading no. Tal, me not reading King. Me not reading Tal. Me no lucky ready, you know what I mean? Me no lucky Tal, I love to call for my name plenty. Next thing I say this and that and that and that and that and that. You know, not me.
People say they will take bullet for people and so.
They will take bullet?
Yeah.
Okay. They will do good. They will do good, boy. But remember that the Labour Party now had a convention now.
No, well, Arnie, you ain't a date set yet, so you can't say that.
You can't make a date, you didn't hear that by now, man. If there's going to have a convention. Well, I know here people are coup leadership.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can talk with the one day because I don't know about the one day.
Yeah.
People are coup leadership. But, as
well,
to...
plenty of something say you had a beef.
Hey, you hear me tell me no want for no boss?
Why?
Me no want for no.
Wow.
Me no really want for no king. Me look on it, me see the something, and me say, nope, Dave, nope. No go down the road with them. I don't know if you're 40, so let me just top out, because I know me bad looking. Let me start with something. But If UPP convention anything like that, it should be good material.
Say that again.
If UPP convention anything like that, it should be good material for the program.
Bless her.
May I drive a copy and paste the picture, the Blackie.
Yeah.
May I try to copy and paste it into my script.
Yeah.
So I can have a record of it because I understand what really go on with them spaceman. Most of them the people swallow sing boat.
Hey, don't look at space man.
You hear see that antenna on the head? you not see what go on, Jim Blackie. You see that the antenna on the head and the space on over the chest?
Yeah, I kind of chi, I know kind of stuff.
Big man, they go over the space. And just make the labor right in and hold something to go see. They can go ahead. I can go ahead. Let's go down the road. Right, hey. Final words, Blackie. Time in studio is now 33 minutes after the 11 p.m. hour.
Yeah, well, again, you know, to all the beautiful moms out there, a happy Mother's Day when it comes around. And it's been a privilege to be with you again for yet another strong with real talk. And my people, we're just here to bring the burning issues and to speak on the topics that are hurting in this country. So prepare to hear from us again next week, Live Spear. Give thanks.
Less and care, bringing to you true happiness each. Do you have a dear mother? Devoted and true, dear mother, I'm sending to you best wishes and all the day through. May your days be cloudless and clear, bringing to you true happiness each day and night of the year. She's my mother. Love her so more than any other. Anywhere I go, yeah. Do you have a dear mother, kind of devoted and true? Dear mother, that despair come to you right through the year. While I was a child, you were my God. You were always dear to me and always were by my side.
Yes. Hey, Joe Blackie, thank you for coming in, man.
Time, big brother.
And let me just say thank you for those persons who call or WhatsApp. Thank you for staying the course with us this good evening.
Big up Skuju Bantan.
Go ahead again.
Big up Skuju Bantan, Raskwamai, Vigai, and Kwaku.
Bless up. Hey, to the silent majority. Hey, those persons who are just listening. Hey, thank you for staying the course with us. Hey, let me say good night to Kevin Shepard. Yeah, Kevin, me safe on the board all the while. Go ahead. There's some of the things they say, yeah, I heard them. But you know, you have to be careful for so when I was in until that I want to have a recording boat. Hey, but thanks for being on the WhatsApp board. Hey, to our online audience. Hey, those who will join us via the website, Facebook Live, hey, on the app. Hey, thank you for staying the course with us. Hey, remember, you know, things are a little dicey down here right now. I'm talking about here in Antigua. You know, we have some challenges with some all kind of something go on. Man, a thief car, man, to do this, man, to do that. You know, so just try to be as careful as you can. When you hear dog bark, hey, look out. Sometimes they try to outwit the barking of the dog. If you can coop them when they come in, they walk with something. That's all. That's what me think. Hey, for the ladies who reside alone, hey, please burn the little extra electricity. Hey, your security is priority number 1. That's very, very important. Hey, remember, hey, to keep the Almighty God as your guide. Hey, because once you have the Almighty God in your boat, hey, you will be able to smile at the storm. And never forget, hey, once the Almighty brings you to it, He will bring you through it. Hey, good night, Brandy. Hey, if it's the Lord's will, we will be back together again right here Saturday night, next Saturday night, 8 p.m. To all the mothers who will be celebrating tomorrow, to those who are celebrating already, hey, happy Mother's Day to you.
May your days be cloudless and bringing to you joy.
Hey, let's treat our mothers special. Very, very, very important.
She's my mother.
Hey, so until we come together again, hey, much love, everybody. Talk to you. Take care. Hey, this is good advice for some of the young ladies.
Last year carnival, I had an experience, pal. Last year carnival, I bounced up a country girl, lovely face and lovely figure. So I went to jump up with her. As I touched it, so she took baby and balling, let me go. For the man say, and me daddy say, want to jump up with man on carnival day. They will treat you kind, give you rum and wine, and protection from trouble of any kind. In the daytime they will be simply gay and will conduct themselves as quiet as a lamb. And when night time comes and they drink their rum, suddenly you will find yourself in a jam. Well, friends, naturally, I just couldn't disagree. So I said, Dudu, what your daddy says true. But girl, I'm a Calypsonian and I am a decent young man. She took away from me, I pray you make Calypso on me. For me mommy say, and me daddy say, not to jump up with man on carnival day. They will treat you kind, give you rum and wine, and protection of trouble of any kind. In the daytime they will be simply gay and will conduct themselves as quiet as a lamb. And when night time comes and they drink their rum, suddenly you will find yourself in a jam. Again and again I approach her but in vain. For my every play she will pull she hand and say, I am the pride of my parents, to whom I must be obedient. And for what I hear, I've got to treat you young men with care. For me mommy say, and me daddy say, not to jump up with man on carnival day. They will treat you kind, give you rum and wine, and protection from trouble of any kind. In the daytime they will be simply gay and will conduct themselves as quiet as a lamb. And when night time comes and they drink their rum, suddenly you will find yourself in a jam. Go!
is located in the capital city of St. John's, Antigua in the Caribbean Sea. Okay, stop that! And our transmitter located at the highest point, Bobby Peak in the parish of St. Mary. This is ZDK Liberty Radio International, 97.1 FM, the People's Radio Station.
Hey, just let me say good morning, Larry. Big up yourself, Larry Prince. Laters.
Martha ran to him, and then she cried, Lord, if you had been here, you could have healed him, he'd still be alive.